There we go. I was just saying off camera that, hey, look, I'm ready. Turns out I wasn't. Because for some reason, OBS, when you switch over profiles, switches pretty much everything except for audio settings. So I have my recording settings and my audio streaming settings different. One's for recording multi-track and the other one's for streaming. Great. Wow, that is a lot of people here. And a lot of people telling me that, yes, my microphone was muted. I am such a derp, but welcome everybody. That's Revhang, welcome. Tropos Z, welcome. Where Vixen, welcome. There's so many colors here today. Hyper Random, welcome. I don't believe I've seen you around here before, so welcome to you. Papa Love. Okay, is that love for poppers? Anyway, welcome to the stream. Who else we got here? Javier Perez. Welcome to the stream. I don't believe I recognize that name. Welcome, one of the many Thomases. Welcome, Dino Zario. Super Mini. Jackson. Okay. And yeah, okay, I think we're good now. Okay. People who can lip read were fine. So basically, my only time I've ever been useful for deaf people. But then again, not all deaf people can lip read, but some can. I've tried lip reading. It seems nonsensical. Is this music alright, or is it too loud? No, that should be about right. First time live here live. First time here. My brain isn't working very well. Yeah, I got caught off guard. That's why the stream's a little bit late and all that sort of stuff as well. So I'm very sorry about that. Colorful over drab any day. Oh, you're talking about them? I thought you were talking about my shirt there for a second. I was like, I do like this shirt. It is my summertime shirt because it has been quite hot. Though at least we're cooling down now. It's not so bad. I think today it only reached, I think, 28 degrees? Yeah. 28 degrees was as hot as it got today. And that was thoroughly uncomfortable. Especially since I went out to the shops just to find out that for some reason all the shops were closed today. I don't entirely know why, but I did pick myself up a new electric lawnmower. One thing I hate about mowing lawns is making sure that my lawnmower always works. Electric, it just works. That's why I have an electric. Also, I'm not a big fan of loud noises. Cue meme for loud noises. But, that's also why I like electric lawnmowers. This is the second stream you're in, then? Well, welcome, Javier Perez. The name sounds slightly familiar, but then again, I cannot trust my memory. Inclusive stream, all the colors of the rainbow. A little loud for the music? Alright, let's go turn that down a smidge. Could be partly this song is a little bit loud, but hopefully that's good. Also, second stream, first time entering a car. Ah, you've got a car in this week. Good. Alright, we shall try it out. Bank holiday? I don't know about that. I mean, I've never heard of a bank holiday, so I'm going to go ahead and assume not. Don't know. I know that later on we're meant to have Australia Day in January, but there's not many in January. But like over this period is first couple of months of Australia's years, or at least South Australia years, there's like the most amount of holidays and events and stuff. So like we got the Fringe Festival, the V8 Supercars event, all that sort of stuff, and then there's like two other smaller ones. Can't really remember what they are. And that goes up until like kind of your April sort of period, first quarter of the year. would probably be a good way of explaining it. No, that'd be the first third of the year. Anyway, you get the idea. That's when everything happens, and then nothing really happens right up until, like, Christmas and New Year's. Because we don't have Thanksgiving. Nothing like that. Welcome, Connor Merring. How's it going? I'll send a card for the next one. You Forgor. Okay. You Forgor. Welcome, Gixa Amir. How's it going? And Chris Games. Welcome. Wow, there's a lot of people coming through chat right now. All right, let's go and have a look at the cars that we have this week. And we're going to start off with this absolutely fantastic... Oh, camera's too fast. This really, really funky looking car. What makes it even funkier is when we start going around to the back. Yeah. This is reminding me a lot of a few different cars, including the GT90. Let me bring up a picture of the GT90's rear. No, it's not the GT90 I'm thinking of then. My brain is apparently failing me. Alright, oh, no! No, the Ford Indigo! That's what I'm thinking of, the video I just did. Ford Indigo. There we go. There's a picture of the rear of the Ford Indigo. Let's open that in a new tab. Yeah. This is what that car has reminded me a lot of. It's got like the big ventilation there, kind of like the outside body cladded onto like the inner tub of the vehicle sort of look. That's what this reminds me of. And I think that may not be an accident. But even still, if it's not an accident, I still think that's pretty darn cool. Doing good, choking on bread for breakfast. Don't choke on bread for breakfast? That's my suggestion there. Ah, man. What is that orange thingy? What, the car in front of me? It's a car. You can see it? Okay, yeah, you see the similarities? Yeah, it's kind of got that feeling. That is 100% on purpose. Yeah, I get the feeling it was, since that Ford Indigo video, the electric EV thing that I did, was not actually that old. Welcome, Space Warrior. How's it going? Alright, so... we got some, cool trimmage down the side. Not entirely sure what fixture that is, though. But it does look pretty good. Maybe it's a 3D placed part. That might be what that is. Because they went to a lot of effort on this one. Because this one... let me go Alt-U, Control-E... when you bring this one up, they went to the effort of making you have two options here. With an automation car, that is actually quite hard to do. So, they put in a lot of effort. I've tried to do this before, and it's just a pain in the buttocks. The orange car looks like the Habanero from GTA 5 from the back. I don't know what that car is. Oh, you're saying there's a, oh, that's not orange. That's like a yellowy gold. This is orange. Unless maybe my screen is really shitty, but I don't think my screen is that shitty. This is not red, that is an orange color. That is red, that is orange, and that is yellow. God, I have a fairly red car, and my mum said it looked orange, which is very confusing to me. I wonder if I have the image around. Nah, I can't be bothered bringing up the image now. Side reminds me of a Lamborghini Huracan, I don't know why. I kind of get that with like the diminishing rear end on it. I do kind of get that. I love the front though. Like the headlightless design, which was done deliberately. I think it looks pretty good. Your color correction is off? I would go ahead and say that yes, it's... whoops, I accidentally pressed F. It hurts me every time you open a new tab. Why does it hurt you? I like to have lots of tabs so I don't have to like hit the back button, have like a web page that goes, oh, well, you can't back. You have to like rapidly click it or do some BS like that. Or maybe I just want to be able to close off a tab and not have to wait for it to load up as I would if I go backwards. I like to just have lots of tabs and then I just clean them out occasionally. It also allows me to keep track of my bad memory a lot of a bunch of different things. Yeah, so interior, what I would call not finished. So I know they're going for the what? I can't remember what the name of it is, but there's a sort of thing with like the convertible with no roof option sort of thing with the low front windshield sort of design. I just can't remember what it's called, but yeah, that's what they've gone for here. But it doesn't seem... Yeah, so the interior is not finished. I don't think this was deliberate. No, that is deliberate. That's meant to be a floor footwell thingy. Sure, okay. But there's no gear stick or anything like that. There's no radio. There's no glove box. No anything there. The dash is a little too basic. Steering wheel, all that sort of stuff. But at least they've done an interior, which is more than I could say for a lot of people. But I get the feeling we're going to see a lot more interiors with people doing all the voting systems and everything. I mostly like this. But the interior is this, like, an afterthought. Like, they got everything in here. Every square inch is covered. If you have a look in here, like, they've got the little curves on here. Everything fits right. All that sort of stuff. But they haven't gone into detail. Like... Is this a detail? No, that's an airbox. Okay. But there's no, like, light switches or anything like that. Oh, I suppose that's the stalks coming out of the thing. There's... Nah. So, interior, at least it's there. That's all I can say about the interior. And they've at least been comprehensive. But they haven't put in the details. But this, I do really like. Something to kind of integrate the suspension, maybe? But still... really good. Aventador J, I'm not sure about that, but welcome, Bundini. How's it going? Reminds me of the mod done to a Lamborghini where the top got cut off. Oh dear. Welcome, Zillick. How's it going? Well, sorry. Lizik. I'm terrible at reading. Especially when it's names. If you want to send a car to the subreddit, should I send the .car file or the link? It has it written on the side. When you open up Reddit, hold on, let me bring up Reddit. Let's go back to the main page. I mean, it's still right there. It's right there. All the instructions are right there. Please, people. So it says that the mod's in I said make sure the mods are .zip or a repository link. 3 people tried to send a .car file zipped and then put up to Google Drive and then put here. I don't... Ooh, I also have to put in a thing here saying only 1 car per submission. Because most people put in more than 1. And I did stuff up with the amount of numbers I'd counted in my head. I got all confuzzled. So... 2 of the cars are 2 cars that people submitted in 1. Or I should say 3 of them, but I didn't do all of them. The interior in mine is just meant to look okay from the outside, looks bad when you... Okay, fair enough. I get that. I get the feeling that is an error. They've also done some tire modification. Okay. Now, this is not in automation modding. That is an external modding. Now, usually I don't like big vents like this on the side, but I think that kind of fits the design. Looks fairly good. I do like it. Though I get the feeling that that's also to try to replicate the, Indigo. If we have a look from the front? No, hold on. I'm thinking of something else then. I don't know. But yeah, no, I do love this. It's very much reminding me of a 90s sort of futuristic concept car. And I really do like it. Though it probably wouldn't have made it onto the road because of the not having the headlights of the right height. Pop-ups could have been used, maybe? But yeah. Okay, so it's for beam zips? Yes. Wait, are you still accepting 4.2 forecasts? I am. That's up to you. If you want to submit an older car, that is entirely fine, but you are privy to people voting. Privy to people voting? You are going to be voted on by other people, so as long as it looks good, it should be fine. And maybe a bit of a story also helps people decide whether they want to upvote or not. Yeah. Welcome, Vermouth on the Rocks. What did you miss? I've just gone over the first car and a little bit about how to submit to the Reddit. That's about it. Dystopian future film? Yeah, I'm feeling a little bit of the original Judge Dredd. Yeah, okay. No, why is it showing only the one car? They had normal cars in there, did they not? Or am I thinking of a different one? God, I need to rewatch Judge Dredd. The original. Well, apparently there was a 1977 one. What was that? No, that's the comic. Okay, yeah, I need to watch the movie of Judge Dredd. I loved that movie when I watched it. It was so much fun. Should I have to make a car to look good for it to make it into the live stream like this? Okay, so I will try to always, though this week I kind of was all fuddled and everything like that, try to pick at least one beginner-looking car. Try to make sure, though, that you've also got a picture with it, because otherwise it'll be hard for me to tell whether yours is a beginner car or not. But also, even if you are a beginner, it's okay to try hard. And fail, but it's okay to try hard. The front of the Indigo is very whack. It is a car. There was 3 of them ever made. One of them, I think, got destroyed. One of them doesn't have an engine. And then the last one is in ownership somewhere. I think maybe by Ford. One of them is owned by Ford still. You need to work on your aircraft more, also the tank. A tank would be interesting. I think I've had a few of those, but nothing really that's blown my socks off. What I would like to see, and something that I've been trying to figure out myself but haven't really looked too much into, is sure, you can have multiple wheels for a truck, but I think I should be able to hook a flex body to go from one wheel to another wheel, or an axle or something like that. And then offset the flex body to be up from there, so then as it goes up and down, the track will move with it. That's kind of what I have in my head for how you could make a track work, but I've not really looked into it. I don't know if other people have done it, but that's something I've been thinking about. I wish I have automation BeamNG. Ah, that's unfortunate, Hyper Random. On a scale of 1 to 10, how hard is it to make a car variance? I've tried it once. And I think I spent the better part of a week of spare time me trying to figure it out, and it was still glitched. So it's pretty tricky. 400 hours on UPI and still awful? I'm here, sorry to hear that. I got 400 hours in the game and I'm struggling to add windshield wipers, so yeah, I'm doomed. Oh dear. Welcome Broken Ursa and Walkie to the stream. Sleeping Mercer Boy is that? Yes, that name does ring a bell. Depends on how complex, could be 1 or 10. I already know how to do tracks. I just need to implement it. Okay, cool. Like, I've thought about it, I've just not tried to implement it yet or look to see if there's other solutions out there. All caught up for Myth? Sweet, cool. Then we got this car, so I believe this one is the one by RevHang. I'm not entirely sure. I want to watch the original Judge Dredd, but can't find it, just the modern one. Yeah, the modern one was lacking a lot. Like, the first one was cool, wacky, futuristic, all that sort of stuff, but it had, like, a thing that was very popular at the time, which was, like, government intrigue, that kind of, like, a dystopian government is evil sort of thing, and it was really good. Doing that now, exactly the way which Judge Dredd did it, probably wouldn't work so well. But they just then went, nah, it's just an action film. Guy goes into a building, has to fight his way out. Woo! It's not a good film. Hi, I'm work on Roblox to BMW 420xi. Okay, White Hat Blocks plays, that's a sentence. I mean, I'm trying to make some car variants so my race car variant of my car can actually fit the game, but I'm very lazy, lol. Fair enough, I'm quite lazy myself. So yeah, anyway, this is meant to be, I believe, a kind of spiritual kind of copy of a Ford Fiesta ST150, which is a car I own, so I could say that this is not a Ford Fiesta ST150. I get the feeling it's only meant to be similarly like it. And I've also just noticed an error. RevHang, bro, you should know better. You've been in my streams. This is a, whoa, what the, okay. This is a big fail. Anybody care to notice what is going on here that is a big fail? I want to see big kudos to anybody that can pick up on what is wrong here. And we're gonna hang around this sort of thing for now. You're gonna keep poking around your ideas. So the headlights look like a Ford ST150. This looks a little bit like an ST150. A warm hatch inspired by Colt Rally Art. It bad? It looks a lot like an ST150. Seats are wrong flip? Yes. But how do you know that they are wrong flip? Door frames? No, not having the like interiors covered and whatnot is a thing which is really tricky and time consuming. I don't expect everyone to do it. I like to do it sometimes, but yeah. Seatbelt holders on the inside? No, that is not what we're looking at. Seatbelts on the wrong side of the seat? No, that's actually close, but no cigar. Same to Colt. The pull handle. Yes! RevHang got it. RevHang knows what he's done wrong. Everybody cheer RevHang for the big error. Okay, so, yeah. These are little levers which you pull on to flip the seat forward so then people can get into the back. One, you're not going to need that in a 4-door. Two, it's on the wrong side. So what's going to happen is you're going to come in here, you'd open up the door, have to lean over the seat, get to this, then pull the seat forward whilst you move back to bring it down. And a lot of the time those things have like notches on them because they don't like to have a seat adjuster and that because they could save a little bit of money. So that becomes a bit of a problem. You're going to have to like be reaching across as you put the seat down. RevHang. Ooh. Oh, I mean, I think you can get away with having it on the other side and then just say, they just mass produced it. There's a 2-door and a 4-door version. They just went, well, we just want to make one type. Tisk tisk. It's 5 so I don't need them. Oh, rip. Oh, wow, I've not seen those in ages. I have them in my little hatchback. Also, how to do the rear doors open. Huh? Huh? You would close it on your own body a little bit, yeah. I'm used to them just being crank levers on the bottom. There are some like that, yes. I had a RAV4 that had that. And it was also a 4-door. But they also had a 2-door variant. So I'm assuming what they did there is that was the seat back adjuster, but also the way to get into a back seat of a car like that. Where are the dials? That's fine. Not everybody has it. There is unfortunately just no dash thing. I don't know why this is here. Have you? Okay. So they've just gotten lazy and haven't put any sort of bottom in here. Yeah, the seats are a little bit tall now that I've noticed why you've done that. No real rear parcel shelf, but there is a rear parcel shelf. But yeah. Then interesting, they've got a little bit of ventilation stuff back here. It's not a rear or a mid-engine, so that's a bit odd. Let's see how they've done with the brakes. Good, one piston. Not the biggest, but they don't need to be. Then, yes, we've got a good suspension back here. We have torsion beam rear suspension. And why this rear torsion beam suspension like this is good is because it allows you to have a much flatter, lower profile and wider boot area. So you fit a lot more in. That is very important for a hatchback. Most of the four doors also have that, so you can put the seats down if something large needs to fit in. Yeah, some companies, though, don't put them on four-door cars. Which is why I said that I could live with that one. But still, a little bit of like a... And it is also a cheap car, kind of, at least. From a cheap car... base car, that is. My car's been hanging in the Discord for 2 months now. Nexagon, not doing Discord anymore. If your car didn't get reviewed in the 85 last week, that's because you gave me a bung link. Peak Lazy? Do we have Oliver here? Somebody said hello, Oliver. I must have missed it. 3 looks like a Fiat Punto. A little bit. I will give you that. It looks a little bit between a Fiat Punto and a ST150. Which, ST150, oh, something like a 150 is in the name. Let's have a look at the rear. Okay, well, all of these are the front. So, yeah. Kind of a little bit like this. Now, the back end on this is much smaller, so not quite. Okay, once again, a weird thing that I don't get. Daihatsu material lets you put all the seats flat so you can lie down in it. I have seen cars that do that, and I think that's kind of cool. I have a road trip coming up, and I'm going to try to sleep in my ute. That's going to be problematic. You love me not sexually? Ah, thank you, Donkey Killer 69. That is a weird sentence. Thank you, Donkey Killer, for loving me. All right. Oh, Just Ollie, I see you there. Welcome, Just Ollie, to the stream. Vermouth on the rocks. The brake pistons look delicious. Okay. They look like a boiled candy. Let's go in and have a look at the front suspension. So we have some double wishbone here. Huh. The intake ducting is going through here. That's different. This must be a really big engine then. Okay. And we have 2 piston brakes on the front. It's a bit overkill, but as long as they're balanced, it should be fine. At least we're not seeing 6 pistons. Jesus. Okay, so we got a fairly basic here looking 4-banger, turbo, sizable intercooler. Yeah. I am expecting this one to handle quite fun because there is also no rear drive with the torsion beam. It should be a bit cooler to drive. Because it'll be nice and light, that is. Welcome, Crownless. How's it going? Moving on to the next one, we have this big-ass supercar. Now, the thing that I like about this is also the thing that is concerning me. There's no front splitter whatsoever. So, in real life, it would have a splitter or have terrible understeer at high speeds. No front splitter. Maybe there's some sort of weird error that gets around here, but the air in to out ratio is a bit weird. So we got this coming in here, and then coming out there, which also, that's not mesh material, is it? No, it is mesh material. That's weird. Huh. Anyway, oh, wait, what? Dual intercoolers up front? Interesting, except for the fact that you can't really see through this. And mesh is exported weird. This is the thing I'm noticing a lot. Some meshes export super duper weirdly. It's a warm hatch, not hot. Oh, warm hatch. Okay then. So kind of quick but not super fast. How many liters is that engine, by the way? That looks like a very big engine on your little hatchback. Welcome, Fanny Faxbear. How's it going? Hey, Phil. Loving the outfit. Oh, thank you. It is summertime here, so I have to wear a summery type shirt. Currently waiting for old-looking car seats to be updated. I kind of agree with that, yes. There is already a lot of seats in the interior section. Now they've opened that part up for modding. Apparently we can mod in there now. I'm not entirely sure, but a lot of mods that were there have been implemented into the base game, and they've been moved over to that section. I wonder if they pay for that, because if they're just doing that for free, they're then getting, if people are still buying the game, which I'm assuming there still are people buying the game, even, what, like 7 years now after the game originally came out? Actually, pretty close. Maybe like 9 years now? I'm not sure. But yeah, they would be profiting off of then people doing that. But I don't know. Because you could also say that the modding community is a part of your sales pitch, so maybe not, I don't know. Gotta agree, that's a loud shirt. Gotta respect. It's not actually that loud. It's actually a very sedate saturation in the color. It's a 1.5 turbo. Really? This is a 1.5 turbo, and the engine is so big that the ducting doesn't even fit? Okay. Not what I was expecting. There are seats, but none fit to a 1960s. Okay, yep, cool. Headrests are a bit of an issue for those sorts of cars. Anyway, let's have a look at the interior. Oh, that is fancy interior. Methinks this car might be Italian, as all of the lights are lit up. I love it. Yeah, cool. I hope that this has got a correct camera position as well. What's the name of the American Bugatti rival? Looks a bit like that. Oh, the Hennessy, I think. I don't know. Hold on, let's have a look at the Hennessy. I don't know how to spell it. Hennessy Venom GT? No. Unless you're thinking of a different car. That is not ringing any bells for me. Maybe the car is too small, so it'd make... Yeah, I get what you're saying there, Chen. And welcome, Chen, to the stream. Also, vermouth. I've tried vermouth. Now, I like fortified wines and stuff like that, but vermouth tastes like I'm drinking perfume. It's very unpleasant. The fact that you like it, I find weird. Is the word I'm going to use there. I just wanted to put that out there. Oh, the SEC? I think I know that car. Ah, okay. Yeah, a little bit. Okay. Flamesy is back. Okay. Tarantula, that's the brand. Welcome, Henson. How's it going? So, yeah, the back end also looks pretty cool. Lots of detail in there. Carbon fiber still doesn't look particularly good when exported, unfortunately. I do like the taillights, though they do look weird. Something weird is happening there. I can't even tell what I'm looking at. What is... From this side, it's... No, it's not fine. The black line is going down there. But from this side, it's just weird. Something trippy is happening there. I would submit one of my cars to the subreddit, however, I'm currently on holiday in South Australia. I think I may have talked about this on Discord. Yeah, you did a little bit. Who's referencing your day? What? Looking for the SEC Ultimate, I believe. Anyway, we're not here to Google cars all day long. So let's keep moving along. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Good. Okay. A big hunking V6. You know what? I should have been able to just tell that. It's a 60 degree, and it's more than a V8. So I should have been able to tell it's a V12 immediately. And it's got tubular headers, long tubular headers by the looks of it. So we're not turbocharged. And we also have push rod rear suspension. Fairly acceptable. 2-piston brakes in the rear. Do we have front drive? No. Okay. This shows that they've put in some initiative to make sure that this car handles quite well, which might or might not work, especially considering the fact that there is no front downforce visible. Hopefully there's a invisible front wing, because otherwise, yeah, this is going to be problematic. What brakes have we got? Good, okay, so they haven't got more rear brakes than front brakes on a mid-engine car. That would be irritating. So, overall, optimistic, kind of. We'll have to see about the front wing situation, though. Let's have a look at this little dude. Okay, so there is certain metals currently, and I believe chrome is one of them, does this weird thing. I don't like it. Maybe make sure that doesn't happen when you're exporting cards to send to me. Welcome, Nene. And Nene is reminding me of Nenechi, which is a character from one of the best animes of all time. Forgotten the name of it. Give me a second. New Game. The reason why I like New Game so much is because they're really creative in that, and they're like making a new game, 3D modeling, all that sort of stuff. The side plots in it with like the girl on girl kind of stuff and all that, not so great, but like the whole process of making games, if you could ignore stuff that you don't particularly care about in that story. And also when I say girl to girl stuff, like it's only implied, it is very G-rated. But yeah, great anime. If you like creative stuff, and if you make automation cards, you probably do like creative stuff. Very fun anime to watch. Carbon fiber still looks messed up in Beam? Yes, I agree. Super 5 or R5 Alpine? It is meant to be the body for the 5 Turbo. I can't remember which one makes it though. One of the French car companies. Doesn't the new aluminium cause that? Or maybe it might be aluminium. Yeah, there's just lots of problems with that. It just means like no, but in German. Oh, Nene means that? Okay then. That's also what I thought, Chen? HoloLive? I don't know what HoloLive is. Or is it HoloLive? I don't know what this is. Oh, they're VTubers? Eh. Alright. Renault? Okay, the Renault 5 Turbo. That's correct. Does look like a sweet little Renault. Okay, so let's hope that this thing doesn't have front drive. Though, it probably won't since it's such an old car. Good, no front drive, but 2-piston brakes on the front? That might be a bit overkill for such a light car. Then we also have McPherson struts, so at least there's some sort of like thought pattern gone in here. They didn't click the top link, they've gone through, they've decided this car probably had McPherson struts when it was manufactured. Rally version, I'm not too sure about, but sure, okay. Also, a cheap car like this, having McPherson struts, but then having 2 pistons on the front, unusual, but okay. He's Googling the VTubers. Is probably the best reaction to HoloLive ever. I don't know. I like anime and all that sort of stuff, but yeah, I don't know much about VTubers. We have a V16 in this thing. Why? Individual throttle bodies on mechanical fuel injection. Mwah, bellissimo. That's a choice. Big turbos. At least there's only single turbos on each. Wait, hold on. Hold the phone. Yep, they've gone single turbo. Now, usually, when you're going single turbo, they don't have an exhaust pipe running under the side of the engine to the other side. That's just not really a great way to do it. Usually they'll try to have the turbo up the front. But if you got like a really tight squeeze like we've got here, I could understand the exhaust going underneath like that. So I think this is about the only time I've ever thought that having the turbo runs the way that they do might actually be acceptable. Usually I hate it and I think it is stupid. But here it kind of works. But yeah, a very unusual engine choice. And it's going to be... Sorry. Very heavy in the rear. Unless they just use engine scaling maybe to make it look bigger, this is probably going to be very hard to control. But I suppose we shall see. Now, wasn't the Renault 5 Turbo... No, it was mid-engine. Yeah, for a second there I thought it was rear engine. But I was thinking of a different car. This isn't going to go well? I agree. This is probably going to be problematic at best. Off that oversteer, unless they've tuned this thing for maximum understeer to help overcome it. Then we might see, but we'll have to wait. They did also have 2 pistons on the front, so maybe they were trying to shift the weight forwards. Maybe? Wonder what the weight distribution is? Oh, it's going to be not great. Even if the engine is scaled up and it's actually much smaller, it's still going to be very rear weight bias. Someone squared the original R5 turbo engine piston oh, squared it. Okay, yep. Forgot the inline 4. We have a little something else. No, this has an inline 4, and an inline 4, and an inline 4, and an inline 4. Put together. In kind of a V shape. Oh, dear. Anyway, let's have a look at the rear brakes. Oh, no. Those brakes are not maximized in size, and they are 1 piston. With an engine this big and heavy, that's going to be problematic. Especially since the front has 2 piston. Maybe they were trying to shift the weight as much as possible to the front from the rear, so they put on smaller brakes on the rear, but still, this is going to have a problem. Unless, like, it's really perfectly tuned. But I doubt that. Especially since you're going to be rallying a car like this, you're going to want more traction on the rear. Wait a second. Oh, that's... Is this a new export or an old export? Because that's a 2D texture. These tire treads are not 3-dimensional. Oh dear. Also, the gearbox is going into the tires themselves. Okay, so... Another little tidbit here. I'm not sure what the go is, whether it is or not, but this looks like radial tires. And I doubt in 1972, which I believe this car is set in, this would have had radial tires for race use. How bad is turbo lag until 4K? I don't know, man. Wouldn't know. It is a big engine, so maybe there's not much turbo lag at all. And if you also have a look, it is a single turbo, so there's less turbo mass to go around. That is a very small turbine housing, so it's probably going to spool up quite fast. The exhaust is cooking the tires. Let's have a look where the exhaust comes out. Nope, the exhaust comes out the rear, so not too concerned about that. The original game doesn't have 3D tire treads. Oh, sorry. The game doesn't have 3D tire treads. Automation does. BeamNG you can have. Are you saying that the automation 3D effect is fake? Which I would believe, because I have seen some weird thing in there recently which confused me a lot. Gearbox straight into the tires, minimal drivetrain loss maybe. Well done there, well done, I like that. V16 in 1972 though, Phil. I know, weird, I don't understand. I messed around with some tires today and all of them had 2D textures. That's unfortunate. I'm gonna see if there's something I can do about that. I think this might be a special tune. I don't know. What on earth did I see with the wheel well then? Let's go in. Let's have a look. Wheel well. Wheel well's quite fine. You got the body wheel well, and then you've got the chassis wheel well. It's just the way in which automation does it. Then we've got whatever that is. Oh, I think what they've got here is some... So they've lined all of the interior, and then they've got some weird piping here. I don't know why it's like that. I get the feeling they're trying to go for like the ribbed tube sort of look, the stuff that which you could just bend whatever shape you want. Maybe that's what they're going for. Best model is 1972, this one's 1984. Even still, rallying at that point, I don't know what tires they would have, but they would probably also be moving over to all-wheel drive at this point. But I saw the thing said 1972, so that's what I'm going with. I mean, one of my cars that built an Alpha, it goes so bad at launch, it got huge turbo lag. Yeah, there's some weird exporting things where not everything exports, and I'm going to be going through them. One of the things is sometimes certain types of camber doesn't export, which me and Venz, who's another YouTuber, you go check him out if you want. We both found that there was no positive camber on our W196s, which was weird because we both set it up like that way. Note, given it had 17k polygons, you would have hoped for 3D treads. I get that. I also don't really like how automation makes their treads. It's very weird. But, I mean, I'd like the option. Put on, like, an advanced option, maybe, for, like, exporting it that way. Who knows? Yep, for the roost fence? Okay. Love Vens. Love AMC. Yeah. Alright, so, interior, fairly decent. At least the scratched here looks a little bit more like, and maybe it might fit if that's the style you're going for. The dash is very small in there. I don't know if that's how that's meant to be. Maybe it is? I suppose I've not thought about it much, but maybe that's how that's meant to be. Cool. Anyway, we've got, like, not only door cards, but we've got a winder here. Got the door handle. I'm not sure if that all comes as one, but there's a gap. Ooh, points deducted. What are these? What are these loops coming up here? What is that? Oh, they put in seat rails. Unfortunately, the seat rails are coming through the seat themselves. That's a nice little detail, but I don't know about that. But yeah, so I shall be interested to try it. Oh, look at that. They've got a little light up and everything. One thing that this person has probably realized, that I also realized, though I made it out of 3 fixtures when I did a little bit of testing myself, is no mirrors. There's no standard mirror fixture. I think... Oh, wait, hold on. Kind of like this one has. Yeah. This doesn't exist currently as a mod yet or whatever, as far as I know. But yeah, I made one, and I think it was in my... the engine placement one. I think I made one out of 3D fixtures in that. I want to make a DD on rear suspension for my 1958 race car, but I don't know where to start. 3D model it, put it in afterwards, and use a solid axle rear suspension, because that's basically what it is. Just a lighter version of that. Also, maybe not lighter, yeah, a little bit lighter, but what would you call it? My brain isn't working. Not lighter. Less unsprung weight. That was the big thing about DD on tube that worked pretty well. But it basically works as a solid axle rear suspension, generally with leaf springs. So yeah, do with that what you will. Let's move on to this boy. This looks pretty good. Very basic design, I will admit that, but at least they've been very tasteful in the way in which they have designed it. Maybe I'll fix that problem and put the file in the car test in your Discord? What? Yeah, for Rise Current Build Challenge, I had to build a custom mirror. Okay. Yeah, okay. Interesting. But yeah, so... I'm sorry, I'm saying but yeah a lot right now. Fuel tank's in the front. So is this mid-engine? I'm seeing a big parcel shelf with no rear seats, so I'm guessing this one might actually be mid-engine, or rear engine, who knows. I can't remember what this body takes. But yeah, or if it's changed at all. Yep, nothing in the front. We have single piston, big discs on double wishbone. Okay, interesting. No front drive either, so this body is going to be quite tricky to work with because it is very short. Small and Russian. What kind? I'm not even going to finish reading that. I don't understand what it is you're trying to say, and too many tricky words. A good design is a good design, even if it's basic. I agree, Crownless. But I do also appreciate more effort. Especially with modern cars. Modern cars are getting a lot trickier with their designs. They're really over-designed. So if you're picking a modern car, you'd better bring your A game. I'm going to be happy if I can get a 3 out of 10 in score. We shall see. You ought to send your cars to Phil? Phil's Reddit. Okay. Anyway, so we have a V6 here, twin turbo, I get the feeling this is an old export as well, considering the way the turbos are right now, with the exhaust not being attached. You have common rail multi-point fuel injection, so not the most modern vehicle, or maybe they're trying to save a little bit. Double wishbone, single piston brakes. Good, okay. I am expecting a lot from this. Is this... Yep, that's... What do we got here? 4 valves or 5 valves? Ah, I think we have 5 valves per cylinder here. Interesting, okay. So, could be anything from the 90s onwards. We shall see. Rear taillights. Odd. But if they work, I suppose that's fine. A big, chunky, like Honda Civic at 3 a.m. sort of exhaust. Modern life is rubbish. Oh, I don't think it's that bad. Or at least not for me. On the rocks, thanks. Now I have... I don't know what that word is. Anyway, moving on to the interior. Very basic. It's got one of those sort of BMW iDrive sort of switches. Yeah, this is an old vehicle. This is not current and modern. But still, basic, but at least it's here. And they've done, like, the bare minimum here. They've got, like, a door card. And they've made sure that there's no dash cap. So... we shall see how this one handles. Is this an open vent at the rear here? It is. Oh, I know why they've done the air vent here. Because the way the thing is stuck on it. That's funny. Well done. Nice. Tricky little tricks there. I see what you're up to, bro. Let's move on to this one using the Polestar body. I do love this body. So this is an older vehicle then. Pretty sure that's the Polestar body. Anyway, let's have a look. Is the engine too far forward? No. Okay, maybe not the Polestar body. Wait, 3 a.m. Civics not just an American thing? Here it's more likely to be sometimes Holden Commodores, but most of the time it's some sort of Impreza. Oh, sorry, not Impreza, Subaru with a Boxer. Like, even if it's a Forester or an Outlander or whatever the other Subarus are, I can't remember. Liberty. Like, just an old one, they just go in, they just stick a can on the back and the thing just farts around. And it sounds horrible. Like... I like a good tuned exhaust. I used to like the exhaust when I was younger in the Sex Specs days, but people have matured since then. They realized that it's not just having a shitty muffler on there that makes the car loud. That is the recipe for sounding good. A tuned exhaust sounds really nice. Or maybe just a good matching exhaust. That, not so much. 2000 was 22 years ago. Oh my god, it was too. The Miata's more than a retro now. Okay. Weird thing to say. Thanks for making me feel old. It's a 4 valve. You can't choose that valve with 5 valves? Hold on. It's 4 valve. You can't choose that valve cover with 5 valves. Oh. I suppose I never noticed that. Because when I was over here, I thought I saw 5 valves. What did I see then? Was I maybe seeing the spark plug or whatever? No. That's 5 valve. Yeah. That's 5 valve. And then the spark plug is right in the center here. Ah. Hold on. Where do we... There we go. Okay. Yeah, 5 valve. So... you're wrong. You can pick this one with 5 valve? I don't know, man. Phil has a Reddit channel. Okay, yeah, thank you for telling him about that. Good, it's also written in the description. Here is Focus ST or Skoda Fabia. I don't think it looks like any of those. And I also think I saw a V8 in there. Hey there, use Fiat Unos. Huh? A 60s VW minibus is retro. So Miata's classic, to me, wouldn't be wrong to call it classic or retro either. I think to be called classic, a lot of car maker, sorry, not car maker, car event runners categorize that as 30 years or older, I believe. It might be 25 years though, I could be wrong. It has been a very long time since I've looked that up. Note that the Miata is older than the World Wide Web. So am I! In Germany, it's normally Simpsons 2 cycled engine moped. What? Simpsons. Okay. We've been talking here... So, my brain is not working. We've been talking about those 3 a.m. cars, not the car in the street. Okay, cool. Let's just move on. So here we got a big honking... Oh no, it's a V6 twin turbo. Is this also 5-valve? Yes, it's also 5-valve. Once again, it may just be an export error. That's probably what could happen. Needs to be made before 1984, currently to be called a classic, I think. Okay. That doesn't make a lot of sense because they're out by 2. Stream car looks like an R34 to you. A little bit. I kind of see that, though the headlights for an R34 are like lower. They don't go over the hood, they are below the hood line. Anyway, so yeah, big engine. Race intake, not really realistic for a road car, but I think this is meant to be like a more racy sort of homologation special. I think that one is the more normal one, and a fairly good job at doing the interior. I do also like that the steering wheel is on the correct side. Good job. Thank you. If you drive in a vehicle which has, country where the drive is on the other side, I'm sorry, but you're just wrong. I also do love the big Tesla-style iPad on the front. That's kind of cool. Then coming out to the back, it's a bit flat and frumpy, and there's not nearly as much attention to detail as there is on the front. So it doesn't look as great. I mean, even the number plate just looks chucked on there. Rear diffuser, that's not a real diffuser, so hopefully you've compensated for that. Front, I don't think that's a real one either, but I suppose we shall see. But wait, hold on. That is a weird way for that to work. I thought they usually followed the body line. That looks weird. Anyway, then yeah, we got the street version. Now the reason why I'm showing both of these is because I did stuff up and I miscounted, and when I was putting the cars out, I realized I didn't have enough cars, so yeah, this one has to be in here as well as its own separate thing. Americans rise up? Oh dear. It's called right-hand drive for a reason. Yeah! Well done. I like that one. Well done, Vermouth. Anyway, yeah, so we got here a 4-door version. Interiors kind of the same, but obviously 4-door. Oh, they've got the drop down with the seat cuppies. They didn't just leave it fitted in there. They've got it like, it's the display floor model, so they've got it down so you could see it. I like it. Let's have a look at the engines that we've got. Once again, it looks to be a V6 multi-point injection, so it's not a completely modern car, but it is still twin turbo. And also with a race intake, so once again, not really road worthy, whatever you want to call it. But it is turbo, so that would normally actually be enclosed. So I suppose it's not really that bad. We're wrong about driving position because we copied the French. I shift both my sticks with my right hand, lol. Don't know what you're trying to say there. Smartio? Welcome to the stream, however it is that you say your name. Right hand drive, left hand drive. You're supposed to use both hands. The problem with right-hand drive? What? Right side traffic? Sure. What do the French know about the position of any kind? Oh dear. Actually, the classic status seems to be dependent on the country you're in. Also, it depends on what you're asking. If you're asking the government about getting a classic part-time registration, that's one thing. If you're like a state or country or whatever it is, even has that as an option. Whether you're going for a rally or a race or anything like that, they may have a category. That's whatever they set it to. Then there's car clubs. Sometimes they'll make you register in their car club under a classic registration sometimes. There's lots of different things that may have different classifications. is because it's the right-hand side. Left-hand drive is called that because, yeah, it's right-hand drive because it's the right side of the car to be driving on. You're supposed to drive on the left side of the road because you're supposed to walk on the left side because you carry your sword on the right. Oh. But then you would pull it with your left hand if your sword was on the right side. Unless you, like, pull your sword out like that. That's kind of weird. I don't know, man. Yeah, I really don't understand why countries are different sides, or how that came about. It is actually a real pain. I wouldn't mind switching sides or making the rest of the world switch sides. I don't care. I just wish that we all drove on the same side, honestly. I don't think one is better than the other, honestly, for driving. A left brain, not a right brain, but unfortunately there's nothing left in my brain and nothing right on the right side. Fair enough. Welcome to Turbo Crash 93. You've come into the very weird part of the stream here today. Build a Chinese car, got it? Okay, it has to be annoying for the Americans to have to drive with their hands on the left side of the car to reach the steering. Okay. I mean, I've been to Canada and I've driven on the other side of the road. Drive in the middle of the road, live dangerously. Oh god, what are we, like, from India now? God. Wait, was it India? Yeah, I think it was... Or was it the Vietnam special? It was one of those ones where, like, the maybe it was the Vietnam one, where, like, the driving was really dangerous. No. Maybe it was the... I don't know. It was one of those, Asian countries. I really don't remember which one it is. It was a really long time ago. But yeah. Oh, that was sketchy. Then we have this Jaguar XJS looking thing. But not an XJS on the front. Am I thinking right? Yes, an XJS. So the front doesn't really look so much like an XJS, but the rear really, really reminds me a lot of an XJS. Okay, you guys are just off on your own little tangent. I'm just gonna do one last little check here. What are the brakes? We got 4 pistons on the rear. We have rear drive, and then on the front, we have all-wheel drive with 4 pistons on the front. Okay. Hopefully, at least the tune is good. So, yeah, I mean, currently, not entirely sold on that. Also, I've just noticed one thing. The indicator here on the side is below this body line here. Have a look on the other side. That's still correct. Then over here, it's in a different area, which means that these panels would have had to have been stamped out differently. Now, that is a lot of investment that a lot of car companies won't want to do. So that's a little bit of a hurt on the, a realism factor there. I don't know, man. Should have unified it. A little disappointed that the Firebird didn't make it this week because it was close to top on upvotes. Nonetheless, looking forward to some of the cars. What I would suggest is probably, like, once the stream is over, putting in your cars within the first couple of days, because I'm going to be going, like, the top voted for the week, and that means that if you upload a car just before my stream starts, it's probably going to not be within that week period because of the way in which, like, a week works. It's annoying, it's tricky, but if somebody's, like, there in that gap in which I checked from last week to the week before, you can miss out there. But after when I stream for a couple of days, and then you'll get, like, the maximum amount of votes over the entire week. That's a little bit of a suggestion there. Don't upload probably the day before, like, that whole period, because I could do it any time in there. Looks like a varied bunch. There is quite a varied bunch here. Or are you talking about something else? I don't know. Hey, Balls, how's it going? Hey, I just wanted to stop by, but I'll have to go soon. Alright, well, welcome, Balls, and hope you do enjoy your stay. Also, are we allowed to up 4.1 cars? You can upload whatever car you want if you think that it can get votes enough to be able to get into the stream. Monowire knife. Don't know what that is. Shit, now we need to strategize just to get our cars on the string. Yeah, that's something I thought about as I was checking the cars. I was like, yeah, this could be a problem. So, yeah, that's a thing. And I do keep meaning to make a video on how to, like, do an upload thingy, but every time I go to do it, I'm like, I don't want to do this. I don't even want to use my new system, apparently. Oh, God, you guys are using it. Jesus. It's because I don't like the way Reddit upload works. Like, if you want to upload just an image, but with some text with it, they're like, no. The image has to have only the title. Text, no. You can't do that. It's so irritating. Already finished showcasing? Welcome, Lonnie, and no, what? I'm honestly still looking at these cars. So I do like the front. It's a little bit basic, but still a lot of these cars were basic. I don't know what this is. Weird. Anyway, so one little thing to keep in mind with a lot of these sorts of front ends is there's usually some sort of ventilation underneath. What are we... Is this like... Are they trying to do weird things for the bumper? I don't know, man. Anyway, let's have a look at the engine. We have a big single overhead cam, 3 valves per cylinder. Interesting. They've chosen a rather interesting engine here, and I do appreciate that. Well done. Into a headed vehicle, well, headed by like head is in the exhaust. A big single 4-barrel carburetor. I do like the fact that you didn't just go, oh, but like 2 4-barrel carburetors are better, so I'll just use that. You've actually put some like thought into this engine design, and I approve. I really do appreciate that. Well done. Let's go ahead, head down here. We have 2-piston. That's maybe realistic. I'm not entirely sure what sort of brakes these sorts of vehicles would have. Into double wishbones, that's fine. At least we don't have all-wheel drive or 4-wheel drive here. That would be a very rare sort of car indeed to have that. We have independent suspension on what looked to be, oh, whoops, a 70s car. I don't know. Let's have a look at the SJS, for example. Rear suspension. Oops, I clicked the wrong thing. Nope, they have independent rear suspension. Okay. And discs on the back. Okay, they are much more advanced than an American car of the same period. And even beyond this period. Cool, I like then. 2-piston, please don't be 4-piston. Good, okay then. Just straight up double wishbone in the rear. Looks pretty good. Just a suggestion, but is putting a Cosworth DFV and a Shelby Cobra body a good idea? In real life, I don't know what most of that is. Is the DFV the Formula 1 V8 that they ran from the 60s onwards for a while? Is that what that is? I'm not entirely sure. Maybe my brain isn't working. I'll base it off a different car entirely. Again, it is what it is. Oh, is this yours, Vermouth? It's based off an AMC engine. Oh, the engine. Okay, then. This is meant to be a Javelin. Okay. Yeah, the interior, shiny. You haven't fixed that, unfortunately. Am I correct in saying that this is pre-alpha? This is not the alpha version of automation that you used here? Oh, nice. You found the one wood trim material that works. Nicely done. I wish more worked, but yeah. Don't know about it going all the way out to the side like that. It's a little bit weird. But yeah, nicely done. I do like only a gear lever, nothing special on the center console. Okay. Might have put something there maybe, but at least it has an interior. You've gone to the effort of putting in door cards, all that sort of stuff. And you have fixed the dash gap. Well done. What's this here? Am I about to give you bad points for messing something up? Ooh, I know what you've done. I know what this is. What you've tried to do is use the material thingy, the fixture patchwork. You've tried to use patchwork to link between here and the door card, so then there's no gap. Unfortunately, you left it in there. I'm assuming that's what happened. Pre-alpha indeed, but yeah, early. I shouldn't have actually said pre-alpha because it's currently called pre-alpha. What I meant was prior to alpha. but early decorating days. Okay, cool. So, pretty cool car. I like it. Let's move over to the sedan version, which the back end looks very weird. Looks very American now as well. Also, here we've got all of these like extra shapes that are square. But here it kind of fits the body a lot more. Was there a year change or something, or is this just a different trim model? Probably just a different trim model. I'd be surprised if the XJS didn't have independent rear suspension, as the Jaguar E-Type had some the same rear suspension. Yeah, but it also comes down to price of manufacturing. I don't know. Maybe it's cheaper once you already know how to do it. I don't know. I just feel that having like less uni joints and all that sort of stuff would save a little bit of money on the cheaper cars. But then again, the XJS was the top of the line and it was the V12. So maybe, yeah. It's the cheapest way any of us here in Australia are going to be getting into a V12 as well. Just, you know, not a very reliable V12. Welcome, Sin. How's it going? So I attempted an interior for a car for the... Interior for a car? The problem, rear seats fall out on their own. What do I do? I don't know, man. That's an issue I've not had before. You could go in and do some J-beam editing, but if you know how to do that, you know how to do that. And if you don't, I'm not going to spend the next 15 minutes explaining how to do that. This is not the right sort of stream. In Europe, IRS was considered standard in rear-wheel drive cars since the 1970s. Not entirely true, but okay. With few manufacturers equipping the whole range with IRS in the 60s, BMW even swapped rear suspension in their rebadged cars. Volvo didn't adopt independent rear suspension until like mid-late 90s sort of period. Or maybe they had some earlier. I get really foggy on the 90s because everything they become a mess with their range in the 90s. Like, they're still making a car from the 70s and the 90s when they've already created the successor to it, and then the successor to that, then some sidecars, then some other cars based upon that in the 80s, still into the 90s. Then in the 90s, while still making the superseded car, they then started to make a superseding car again, whilst they're still making the one from the 70s, which has been superseded now like 2-3 times. And then during that time period of those two cars, they then supersede them again with a few other cars, but they stopped the one from the 70s. Volvo in the 90s was a mess. My god. They made a car with pop-up headlights just randomly out of nowhere. What? God, I would love that car though. The Civic had IRS, but the Civic was front-wheel drive, so of course it would have front IRS. Volvo had solid axles on budget trims and multi-link on luxury trims. Not on wagons though. Incorrect, but sure, it's okay to think that. Anyway, yeah, cool. So let's go in here. We got same sort of suspension, 2-piston brakes, no four-wheel drive, same engine by the looks of it, 2-piston brakes, not 4-piston. Good, okay. So I'm not entirely sure about how the brakes are going to be, but seems fine enough. Then on the inside, oh, we have a rear seat now. But no parcel shelf attachment. Oh, points off on that one. Door cards, at least that's not particularly bad. Very basic, but at least it's there. The front seats feel like they might be a bit too far forward. You know what it is? It's the footwell. But that's kind of out of your range, unless you're going to make an entire chassis from custom. But yeah, that's not particularly brilliant there. Yeah. I'm excited to try it out. Hold on, we got the fuel filler on this side, but it's not the same on that side, which means, once again, new stampings for the car bodies. And then this one has the fuel filler on that side. That typically wouldn't happen. So, I'm not sold on that. Anyway, final car, which almost didn't make it into the stream. The Volvo 480 wasn't made by Volvo. Yes, I know that. But still, it was their company still that they got to do it. Was it made by DAF, like the 360, the 340 and all those cars? I believe it was, right? Oh, it was made by a truck company. Yep, that's daft for you. Yeah, I have a 360 in my shed right now. But yeah, let's have a look around the outside. It's very basic, but still nice detail. I do like it. It's got a bit of a lip down here as well, which is pretty cool. I do like that. So this is probably a sportier version or a later version. But again, lifts really did start in kind of the 60s, but late 60s, and wasn't really fully understood until much later. It does look a bit like a princess. You're right. I can't remember which company makes the princess. One of the British ones, I think. But yeah, the princess that killed the princess. I believe that's actually what happened. Let's have a look on the inside. I do love the look of... Are these steel or magnesium wheels? Might be steel. I'm not sure. Anyway, oh, a solid front axle. Interesting. Very budget then. And drum brakes. Okay, very interesting. Then why would they have these sorts of wheels? Are these stamped? I don't think they're stamped. I think there's too much like three-dimensionality to the stamp for this to be... Oh, sorry, to the model for this to be stamped. I believe this is a cast wheel, and probably being that. Austin, that's the one. Thank you, guys. You think it's authentic Mantra experience? What? Anyway, British Leyland, yep. We have leaf spring on the front. That is a weird choice. Having a solid axle on the front was usually a very old design. But then we've gone ahead and not had a log and not had a push rod. We've got overhead valves. Two, but still... sorry, overhead camshaft, I should say, not overhead valves. They're all overhead valves, but yeah, you know what I mean. And then twin... They're not fuel saver carbs, are they? They're regular, just twin carburetors? I believe, yeah. I don't think these are fuel savers. My brain isn't lying to me, is it? I don't know. I'm pretty sure it's just regular carburetors. So there's a lot of odd choices on here. Morris Marina original car? Really? Okay then. This car seems like a death trap. Judging by the front, it very well could be. Then coming down to the rear, we have solid axle leaf spring. Interesting, on drum brakes. Okay, so they've added a little bit of lore to it, which will make up for the fact that there is no interior. I noticed that this thing had blacked out windows, so I knew it had no interior. Then the exhaust is coming down here out to the back, but there's an exhaust pipe here. Huh? But then we got an exhaust pipe here. What? I can see both exhaust pipes at the same time. Huh? I'm so confuzzled. I get the feeling they tried one and then they forgot to delete it as they tried a different one. What engine do we have again? It's a 4-cylinder. Okay. So I probably would have expected on such a budget car for there to be a pushrod log single carburetor. My opinion, I don't know what the original car really had, but that doesn't seem correct, especially a green painted one. It probably would have been just a standard paint color. You need swing axles in automation. Are you talking about using panel bars? I agree with that statement. Have you been lapped by Captain Slow in the Austin Princess full of water? Oh yeah, no, I remember that. That was a long time ago. Dropsy said to be approved on parking it on a hill. Huh? Oh, you mean when they were doing the hill parking thing and then it backed into his, like, piano or whatever it was? 1.3 inline? Oh, that's very small. Same as the Mini? Wow, it doesn't actually feel that small. Maybe it's the body that makes it feel not that small. Maybe it's the... Blah, my voice cracked. Maybe the position as well. Because a lot of these cars still, like, the engine would be middled over here and maybe even overhung still. One is the exhaust pipe and one is the downpipe? Are you talking about for a turbo engine? Oh dear. I did this Signature again learning experience. I feel bad for being forgetful over all over though. What? Okay, cool. Lots of things there that I just read. Okay, cool. Welcome, Margaret Barlow. How's it going? Hi, it's Y first time here. I'm assuming that's meant to be my first time here. But welcome to the stream and welcome to the community then. I did not recognize your name, so yes, I went ahead and assumed that you're a new person. So yeah, this one will be interesting. Solid front axles with drum brakes. Those brakes are probably going to cook quite badly. We don't have any music playing right now. Yep, that was the last song. Let's go to the next page. And music. There we go. Not in the Alpha? I thought as much. Also, since it looks a bit like a Morris Marina in the front, where's the piano? Huh? Anyway, let's just move on. You guys are confuzzling me way too much. I'm really excited to go try this one out right now. And since it's not really probably a road car, we'll probably take it to a racetrack. I really feel like I should take it to a European racetrack. But we don't really... I suppose we could take it to Spa. Yeah, okay, let's go ahead, activate the Spa mod. I believe I've deactivated it. Spa Frankenshops. There we go. Let's go ahead and try it on Spa. There we go. Spa Frankenweenie. Swinging axle is unsafe at any speed suspension. Half axle works as a single wishbone. Oh. Using the Alpine 110, Hillman, Imp, Volkswagen Beetle, Triumph, Spitfire, Tatra, Corsair. So, yeah, that seems problematic. Though it probably almost work like a McPherson strut, if done right at least. The first car looks cool. It does look pretty cool. Hey! Let's go ahead. F7. I forgot that I have the scroll speed. So, we've got the prototype and the aero kit. So we're going to go with the prototype first and bring that one out. We're going to have a look at what aero we've got, though. We have fairly decent wing on the rear. Ah! Forgot once again. Don't have the camera speed set because we changed map. Not a whole lot of air on the front by the looks of it. All we're going to be relying on is entirely the body aero, which you probably don't want to rely on. Let's go ahead, go debug, turn the body invisible. Yep, no, I see no wing there. And this like big dip in the middle might affect the structure's rigidity as well. Much like a real car, actually. But, you know, more aggressive because this is automation export from... for BeamNG. Press the wrong button. And to go Alt U, not Control U. Pressed all the wrong things. What is the debug menu? How do I get rid of that now? Control U. There was a thing. I didn't know how to fix this. Hold on. How do I... Damn it. I don't really know how to get rid of this. Welcome, Shadow. Hi, Mr. Phil. That is a pretty good looking super guy. It does look pretty cool. Hold on. Is it a UI app? Hold on. Let's go to UI apps. Edit. Nope. It's not a UI app. Scheisenhauer. Our front render file also swing axle in the rear. Problem with this suspension is awful jacking due to wheels always facing... stationary roll center causes tons of positive... Oh, you're right. That would be pretty bad. You are screwed. Do you know anyone named Devon? Yes, I do. Is that you? Anyway, that is a problem. And I want to review this guy's car, but I'm going to close BeamNG and relaunch it. Last time this happened, it still wouldn't go away. Well, let's hope that it's fixed this time. My God. Refill? Yeah, I know, man. Big yikes. Welcome, Game Boy Terriosta. Give me a second as I spawn back into Spa Frankenweenie. It's there forever now. Well, it's gone now. To get rid of it soon, it'll grow up and fill your whole screen. Okay. You're her friend's son. Oh, Michael's son. Mitchell? Michael? I know, it's been a long time since I've spent time with him. Ah, so welcome. How did you find me? I suppose Devon knew about my YouTubing, so I suppose you could have found out from her. Yeah, anyway. Yeah, we haven't hung out in a while either. But yeah. Oh, Wondersteer at, what was that, like 30 or 40 kilometers an hour? That's big, yikes. Let's bring it down, get a little bit of speed and see how it goes through Eau Rouge. Eau Rouge is probably going to absolutely murder this car since it hates understeer and it hates vehicles with a big rear bias. So yeah, understeer and oversteer at the same time? That's just called going wide. Oh, I was so ready to be happy with this vehicle. Big oof. Oh no, BeamNG did NA oopsie? Huh? Anyway, this is very quiet as well. Let's go turn up the volume a bit. Options, audio. Ah, yes, I've got it set to 4. So yeah, you guys wouldn't have been able to hear the engine. Ah, I do like that sound though. It somehow is prone to oversteer still. That is not what I was expecting. Brake a little bit, get it turned around. You don't want to brake in the middle of the dip of Eau Rouge because that will send you around, especially with a rear or mid-engine car, because the weight then is being pushed a lot to the rear and the car becomes slightly unsettled as the weight transition is happening as you're going through the dip, and then braking becomes a complete nightmare. Okay, so the braking on this isn't so bad. I do like the sound of the engine though. That's a nice sound. Is this a standard sound? I don't think it is a standard sound. But it doesn't sound like obnoxiously unique sort of thing, like the people that have put in like unique engine sounds just because they can. They can do whatever they want. Yeah, this is pretty good. I do like it. Except for the fact that it's got a bit of a problem with understeer. So we're now going about 80 through here. That's fine for a road car, I suppose. But this is meant to be made from a team that does Le Mans and F1, which was a part of the blurb for this car. So, unusual. Ah! Yep, no, poo on caught us out something chronic. Got poo on that corner all over the place. Yeah, so you can see here that what they've done is they've realized that for some reason the car keeps oversteering. So what they've done is instead of putting on real front aero, they've made the front tires super duper narrow. And you can see the result. It just understeers at high speeds, kind of drifts wide at like intensive higher speeds. It's problematic for a race manufacturer to make such a flawed vehicle. Though I do love it. There are so many things to like about this, especially the roof type. All looks, unfortunately. Yeah. But what looks have? Wait. What looks to have? Yeah, you're right. Sorry, my brain took a little while there to read what you wrote. I just noticed the very demonetizing rear plate. The ZAFAP. Kick-ass. That's not demonetizable. Jesus. Alright, let's give a quick try to the other one and then we're going to move on. So this is the Aero Kit version. This one should have... Oh, that is a big rear wing. I do still love this body. This body looks fantastic the way they've done it. I wonder what body this was originally, though. I'm tempted to, like, rip the .car file out of this and go try it out. Oh, front aero this time. We now have front aero. Yes, good job. I see also here that the mesh has been fixed. So they've done some work here. They've done some real work, and they've made sure that this works properly with the mesh. Because I'm assuming when they first did it, there was severe jiggle issues. But yeah, they've fixed that all up. Sounds like a Pagani V12? No, I don't think so. Pagani V12 is a little bit more raspy. I want to make a car that sounds like the new Pagani Huayra R. That's going to be tricky. You'll have to probably take the sounds from somewhere else. Copper, my man? What? I have not set this as for kids, so it's not really my fault. Also, ass isn't really a swear. It can be said on the TV. It's probably the McLaren body. You know what? I think it might, yeah, it might be the Group C body that I had. Maybe. I don't think it's the McLaren body, though. I don't know. Almost retro. This is meant to be a 90s car. Mazda 323F? Make a Mazda 323F. There is a Mazda which I like from the 90s, which I never got. Let's have a look. Ah, yes. Okay, so we didn't call it the 323F, but this is actually the Mazda I was just talking about. The two-door version of this is my favorite. Should actually say three-door, but you get the idea. Damn it, there's no two-door version of this. I want to own one of these in real life. Like, I know they're not a good car, but something about that design just really speaks to me, and I love it. It just, I think it just is a good design for a car. Let's see if we can find two-door version. Like, please. Nope, only four doors again. I know this body came in a two-door version, or three-door. I want to be technical about it. Maybe it wasn't called the 323F. Mazda MX-3? Wait, what's an MX-3? Oh. I don't know that is the MX-3 either. But no, that's not the one I'm thinking of. No? Damn it, I just can't find it. It's trolling me, honestly. Slap some yellow on it and you've got a Lotus F1 homage. Maybe, but no. My dad had a V6 MX-3. Oh, wow. I didn't realize they were that big of an engine. Bow ties are cool? Yes, thank you, Lou the Toilet. I do like bow ties. Even if you are trying to make a Doctor Who reference in my stream, how dare you? Now, I like Doctor Who, but I was into bow ties before that, so I kind of feel a little bit jaded. I never really wore them very much in public. Even now, I went through a phase again recently where I did, but now I'm not doing it because it's really hot weather and I've lost all my other ones and I want to keep this one as like branding for my channel. So yeah, oh, little bit of understeer still. On the lunge under braking, the thing gets not great understeer. And then, okay, it's fairly smooth on the way out. Fairly decent. Did we ever check what engine this has? And what the brakes were? Let's go have a look at the engine. The engine is a naturally aspirated. I have to turn the camera speed. 1, 2, 3. Yep, good. That's only 4. So it is a V8. How many things do we have? 4 valves per cylinder? Yeah, okay. So maybe not all cars come out like that. Sorry, burps. What do we have for the suspension again? And brakes? I don't think I ever checked that. Oh dear. We have 3 pistons on the rear. And then on the front, we have 6 piston. Big fail. Big fail. Though that almost looked glitched out, so maybe that was an error in the game. 323 coupe? Was that actually... It's still not showing it to me. It's still not showing a 2-door version of this. Like, there's this, but that's not the vehicle I'm talking about. It is literally this car in a 2-door form. It is actually quite rare. You very rarely see them around. But yeah, they do exist. Nope. Not there. .8 liter, is that small for a V6? That is pretty small for a V6. Yes, I didn't realize that that's what they were saying. What's with people and brake imbalance? I know, right? But at least the car seems to actually brake pretty decently, so they've done something for it. Who knows? With the extra air on the rear here, I'm not sure if it's going to be a good thing or not. This sounds good. They've also got the transmission sounds. Yet no copious amounts of understeer. Let's try that again, shall we? At least we have a clutch, so that's one thing. Still no gear shift or any sort of stuff in the middle there. Odd choice. Braking is actually still pretty good. Even though the brakes are incredibly unbalanced, the brakes feel pretty decent. I'm surprised that the brakes are not considerably worse. In my opinion, I would have expected them to be really bad. A little bit of diving under braking though. Maybe what they were trying to do though was to get more weight distribution to the front, because they were finding they had a lot of understeer. And what I think they didn't realize is that they have bad aero imbalance. But yeah, I like the car. Unfortunately, the handling is not great. It should be able to go through... Is this Blanchimont? Is that what this corner is called? Like, a good race car will be able to go through there at flat chat easily. Like, not even much of a question. That corner can just go full chat. But yeah, this is problematic. I don't know why, but automation make markets in 4.1 really the rear brake bias. Hold on. I don't know why, but automation markets in 4.1. Oh, the markets really like it. Huh. Weird. Very weird. So yes, I was everything. Don't know where my grandfather worked in a small shop where they made custom bow ties by hand. If you've ever seen them made, you'd also agree they're cool. Okay. What? Anyway, so let's go over the score for this car. Let's bring it back here. Control E. What is the name of this car again? The FOSS 60 Concept. FOSS 60 Concept. This is by Zap Zap Official. So, thank you Zap Zap Official for the cars. They do look fantastic. This is 1996, and now they didn't put a price there, which means they either gave this car away for free, which would be a very big failure on that, or it was only made as like a concept sort of thing and they never actually probably released it, which I'd be more inclined to go with considering it has no headlights on the front. So, Barchetta, that's what the term is. Barchetta-esque supercar with an open end exposing the Formula 1 grade back wheels. It was designed with no headlights. Okay, cool. So, pretty cool car. If this was just a concept, I absolutely love it. I'd almost give you like a really high score, except for the fact that the interior is a little bit too basic on a Barchetta vehicle. You really should have had something there. But aside from that, absolutely gorgeous. So much time and effort has been put into this to not only make it available, 2 different trims in there, but also you fixed the mesh. The unfortunate thing is you didn't know how to tune the aerodynamics and tires and stuff to get the car to feel 100%. Also seems like the brakes you also didn't know how to tune properly either. But yeah, other than that, absolutely superb car. It feels really nice to drive, though not fantastic, which I would expect, but that's more of a realism score than a feel score. 8.5? You're close, but there's a few things you could fix which would get it up easily into the 9s. But at the moment, you're close. Now, I'm rating this not as like a beginner person. This is a highly skilled person. So I'm going harder on them. You're close. You know what? No, I'm going to give it a 9. It does deserve a 9. There's a lot of effort here. But there's just a few... You're missing the basics. And you also forgot to put a price on. But no, I really do love it. It's a great car. Just, yeah, the few flaws here and there. I know that there's kind of a similar looking car. That is the Nissan NX. No, it's not that. I know the car I want. I almost bought it a few times in my life, but every single time I've gone to buy it, I'm like, but I want a bigger engine. I want more power. And those cars are gutless. The 323s? Oh dear. I remember seeing a Mazda 323 two-door version you're talking about driving around a few years back. It must be rare, as I haven't seen one since. I get the feeling that they've just run their life and they've been sent to the junkyard maybe, or crashed over the years. Like, they're old cars and they're cheap cars, so they're not going to be particularly well loved in their later life. Sorry for being the rando off-topic guy. Okay, sure. People do that. Welcome, Onion Man, to the stream. How's it going? What is that? That is the first car that we've just finished testing. Let's actually have a look on Gumtree. That's Google Drive. Don't look at that. Sorry, not Google Drive, AdSense. What are we looking for? Gumtree. That's the one we want to have a look at. Now, Gumtree. Mazda. I'm not going to put in the name because I don't think it's called the 323 for that model year here in Australia. So we're going to narrow that down to Mazda. We're going to get to the year. And we're going to set it to like, what years was this made? 93 to 98. So we're just going to put in very loosely from 90s to 2002 is apparently my only options here. And let's go down here, offering type, make sure it's only offering and not people wanting them. What options do we... Oh, we have a lot of options in here. But let's go from cheapest. Let's have a look through here what we got. That looks like a four-door. And it's called the Mazda Estina. Mazda Estina. Images. Two-door? Oops. There's something wrong with this new keyboard that I bought. Not seeing a two-door version, unfortunately. Ones that are similar, but not quite. I am going way too far out of my way for a car which I've liked, but never really liked enough to buy. Also, over the years, I think their front headlights have aged poorly. I'm not seeing many. What? Are they all just, like, run off the road? I will say, though, that Mazda has a good track record of creating some of the best-looking... sorry, not... But, like, the best-looking mediocre cars. Like, their line, it is rare to find a Mazda that looks particularly ugly. Not great sometimes, but, like, for their era, they've always been quite good. Even the bubble car that we saw, I thought was pretty good. What's this one? Nope, wrong one. Damn. See some RX-7s in there. I'm going to way too much effort here. That's been sold, apparently, in the time in which I clicked it. Let's go three-door. Nope. Why does this image not exist anywhere? Maybe I am having a brain fart, but I'm pretty sure I test drove one. Okay. Maybe I am hallucinating. But I'm very sure I test drove one. Maybe I did test drive a four-door. I doubt this is what I want. No, that's a Mazda 3. Damn it. Alright, whatever. We're just gonna leave it. Familiar Neo? I don't know what it is. Hey, my neighbor has that Mazda in green. Oh, nice. I'm making a car with a price so high. Price so high it makes it dangerous. Okay, then. Maybe this is yeah, I know the one you're talking about. The like the false memory sort of thing. Try Mazda Familia Neo quick. Okay, we'll do that quickly. Mazda Familia. No, that is Familia Neo. Okay, let's have a quick look. Oh, okay. No, that's not the car I'm talking about. And I think we already looked at this one. That's not the one I was talking about. All right, next car. Control E, let's have a look. Where are they? Okay, so we have the Flachetto 150 TS. So you can see where I thought it was the ST150. Let's pick a map that might be more suited to that. Maybe Italy for some hilly road driving. There we go, Italy. I suppose let's start in the hill village. Yeah, BeamNG, good for you. Okay, thanks for that information. I swear I know what you're talking about. Maybe I'm hallucinating too. Yeah, what is it, because it was based upon that guy that died. Oh, that didn't die in the 80s that everyone thought he did. That effect. Welcome, Gangster Gamer YouTube. How's it going? Yeah, I swear that it came in a 2-door or 3-door, whatever you want to call it, version. Let's go ahead and break out the the 150 TS by RevHang. I think Familia Neo is what you're looking for. No, it's not. Nelson Mandela. The Mandela effect. Good. There you go. That's the one. This is way too narrow to be an ST150. Make automation cars. Name it Lantino 353 body is hatchback. What? Mandela. Yeah. Somebody's already written that. Yeah. I think there's maybe a little bit of a Mandela effect with Fanny Vexbear. Myself, I could have sworn it came in a 3-door version. Like that, the Neo Familia or whatever it was, the Familia Neo, that is not a common car here in Australia. I don't think I've actually ever seen one here in South Australia. Yeah, so, oh, fun on the dirt, that's nice. Why am I on a dirt road? I meant to go do some, hillside driving up some... Great. Okay, you know what? This is not meant for hills, so let's go take it over to a hill road. Do we go uphill or downhill with this? I think we go downhill. You know, like the the Toyota AE86 on Mount Akina. Okay, wrong way. We want to go this way. This thing is very gutless off the line as well. Let's turn traction control off. That turned the engine off. That was wrong. Oh. Don't worry, my brain works. To be frank, I'm roughly that age, and I honestly don't think about Nelson Mandela on a very common basis. Yeah, I know. Something happened in the 80s, I'm not sure what it was, that made everyone think that he died at that point. Maybe what happened is he was in prison at that time, as a political prisoner, basically, of his own country, which is very wrong. And then, I think somebody else might have died in prison at the same time. That made everybody think that he died. I know. Did Pol Pot die in the 80s? Or did he die in the late 70s? I'm not sure. Maybe something like that. And maybe that just kind of misconstrued everyone's memory. Because a lot of people have forgotten about Pol Pot and what he did. Like, that guy was atrocious. Nelson Mandela was also made out to be a terrorist to the West. So it also makes sense to a lot of the West to think that maybe that was a common link between the two. Yeah, the apartheid, not the greatest thing. Yeah, this car is, not the sportiest feeling car, though I'm sure if you were to drive it in real life, it'll feel a little bit lively. The brakes just don't feel right. Something's not right about the brakes. Whoops. Let's give it a quick refresh. Roll angle time? What are we talking about here? car looks like a Tic Tac. You know what? That's actually a good descriptor of it. Anyway, I like this car. It's kind of weird that you would make a warm hatch with a turbo on it. Is that normal for non-top-of-the-line hatchbacks? It's also very narrow for a hatchback. You know, it looks a little bit like the Tatra Nano or whatever that Indian, like, incredibly unsafe car was. That's kind of what this was reminding me of. It's kind of cool, but also very concerning. Under brakes, this thing becomes super duper skittish too. Did I just stuff up the front suspension? Nope, still tracking true. Pretty good. Okay. Hey, Phil, do you have any car called the Malware RG8R 2008? I don't think I do. No. Okay, so what you guys can do is if you want to know whether your car is going to be up there or not, you can go here, you can go top, and then go, normally it'll be this week, but since there's about 2 weeks of this, it's going to be this month. So you can see whether your car is in the top 10 or not. And if you give me a bung link from now on, I'm probably not going to give you a chance to fix it. I'm just going to skip it and go to the next one. Unfortunately, that will mean that maybe people won't vote for it the next week, but hopefully people will know that and maybe they will vote for it again. I'm not here to hold your hand. Setting up these streams is not always the easiest, and it's also very stressful, it being a new one for me. So, yeah, I like this car as a budget car. What was the price of this again? $25,000. Oh my god, that's a lot of money for a 2007 car. Also, the 2007 is when the ST50 came out as well, so that's part of the reason there. 2007 Fiesta RP. What was the new price? This isn't gonna have it, is it? Cars Guide, maybe? Redbook, okay. Redbook will probably do it. That's the four-door non thing version. This one was $20,000. Okay, so maybe the ST was not worth that much. How do we search this website? Research. Ford XR4? No. Fiesta. Year 2007. We'll put it to 2008. Search. Oh, 2008 was a new model year. Okay. Okay, 2008 XR4. Its new price was the same price. Okay, but you got a much bigger car. Now, to let you guys know, this is the car I have parked as like a spare car, which I'm trying to fix up to sell. This car is phenomenal. If you ever have a chance to have an ST150 or in Australia an XR4, they are a fantastic car. And if you're an L-plated, this is also good again because it's naturally aspirated, little four-cylinder, good on fuel, and drives like hell. God, this car is so much fun. Anyway, back to this car. Really, really narrow. Or maybe it's just really long compared to its normal width. But it just feels, you know what, I think it is maybe a little too narrow. Because I remember the engine was a 1.4 and the engine was so big that the intake didn't fit inside of it. Whoops. Big yike, big yike. 26,000 USD to 18,000 pounds, okay? Okay, so I just made a 300,000 50s car that fits the sport budget for some reason. Oh dear. Elfton came back and you're talking about someone dying? Oh, Nelson Mandela. Make Yoshi... What? Gen 1... Okay, that's enough out of you, whatever your name is in Cyrillic I can't read. No more suggestions. That's not the sort of stream. It's a very small car? Yeah, it is a very small car. So that's a lot of money for a very small car. I probably would have expected you to go like down the lighter route of vehicle, maybe a 3-cylinder, and tried to hot it up with some good suspension instead. As it sits, this thing is a lot of money, but not a lot of car, with an acceleration that's not great either. Like, turbos are not cheap. So, I don't know. 2007, you probably wouldn't have seen a turbo on a small car like this that's meant to be bottom line budget, maybe. Not sure. Yeah, that's the standard fate for trash hatchbacks like this a little bit. Can I retro at a price for my car, Phil? Which one is yours? I can't remember. Anyway. Realism? I'm not sure on the realism. I could see some influences here of some other cars. The design just doesn't feel right. It also feels like a narrow, cheap car like this should be cheaper. And I don't know. Maybe it's a sport version of the absolute budget, but maybe they wouldn't go to the effort of putting in a whole different engine on a car that looks like it's meant to be like $12,000. Like, this looks cheaper than a Spark. And the Sparks are a pretty cheap car. Did you get the Spark in England? I'm not sure. Or the United Kingdom? I'm not sure what part you're from. Thanks for the stream. Going to go to sleep. Okay, catch you later, Groundhog. If you don't love me enough and you want to go, that's fine. You can go now. Anyway. To upload car to Reddit because it's low effort car. It's up to you. You can put it up there and get no votes. That's up to you. But yeah, so I like the car. Doesn't feel good. The realism is mediocre. Maybe it is actually realistic. I'm a little bit unsold. I think this car probably would have sold terribly, especially at $25,000. 6 out of 10? Because you haven't put door cards in, like, the interior is as basic as it can get. You even got lazy and just put a flat thing in the bottom there. Bro, that's lazy. I like it, but yeah, it could have been better. Yeah, got the Spark, not very common. Oh, really? Okay. The Spark is quite common here. I even owned a Spark. And I actually liked the Spark that I had. It was a 2011 Spark. The front to part of the side, you know, let's go Holden Spark. Because I like the badge better. Yeah. I just kind of like the design of it. It looks pretty good. And then the hidden rear door handle, kind of like that. It's tripped up a few people, but I do still like it. And the car feels nice for being incredibly cheap. It was also a manual, so at least that was fun. But it was still really super duper gutless. It was just the rear end I didn't particularly care much for. But, I mean, I liked the car. It's kind of cool, funky, cheap. But that looks cool and funky. This one just looks a lot like, I believe it's the Tata Nano. Yeah. I'm getting, even though it looks nothing the same, it's just kind of the body dimensions that is making me feel like this thing reminds me of the Tata Nano. Yeah. You get it, right? You see what I'm getting at? Just like the narrow body, tall, long. Anyway, let's move to the next car. I'm gonna make a Toyota IQ, which is painfully slow, but good on fuel. I like the idea. Please fully deck it out and maybe do a Signet variation. That would be fun. Oh, sorry, burps. Next car, okay. This looks like an Italian supercar. So let's test it here on an Italian map. Very narrow road, so I don't know if it's going to be particularly great. What engine do we have again? Whoa! That's some fast camera movement. We have a V12 in here, naturally aspirated into what sort of... Oh, why is the exhaust coming into the wheel? That is weird. But anyway, what brakes do we have on this again? 2-piston, and I think it was 2-piston on the front, right? Good, okay, so the brakes are a little bit balanced. Search Daewoo Tico. Okay. I'm assuming that's meant to be maybe Tycho. I think we had some of these come to Australia, but they didn't do particularly well. And I think they might have come under a different name as well. What is this song? I'm getting like 90s boy band vibes, kind of like Five or that other band. God, what were they called? Backstreet Boys. How did I remember Five, which is an extremely underrated 90s band, from Backstreet Boys instead of Backstreet Boys? That is so weird. Basically turned into a Spark, so I guess that makes sense. The Signet still had the same engine as the Toyota IQ, just looked different and better interior. Yeah, do a good interior. That's what I'm getting at. Different badge too. Looked a little bit better on the front. Oh, I don't know if better, because I also do like the design of the IQ. Taking good photos matters for the Reddit. I'm assuming that will help a lot. But yeah, let's go give this a try. This is an aftermarket sound pack as well. Oh, sound in the engine. Ah! Whoops. Let's go ahead and try that again, shall we? Not bad. Big burbly sounds and understeer. Let's try that again. See if it's me having the driving issue or... Okay, that was me because I was not paying attention. I was scratching my ear. Let's try that again, shall we? Big Italian supercar getting uneasy. Yep, too much understeer. Okay, let's have a look. I'm not even going to full lock either. The people are saying like, oh, full lock is bad. I get it. I know. Kind of. But this is understeering a lot. Why did I go into the car again? I can't remember. Oh, that's right. Yeah, I forgot to show this off. This looks really awesome. They've also got the Lamborghini style of putting in the firing order. That's pretty cool. I wonder, hold on. The firing order of the Lamborghini. Okay. So we've got 11249. No, we don't have that. Okay. Let's go. V12 firing order. And let's have a look on the Wikipedia. For 12. Okay, so we have 17410. We have 17410. 286. Yes, we have 286, then 12.3.9511. 12.3.9511. So this is the Lamborghini Diablo VT engine. Very specifically, just that one Lamborghini? Where are the other Lamborghinis? Yeah, we got like the Lamborghini Aventador over here. That's... Wait. There's a 14-cylinder car? Oh, no, okay. It's a 14-cylinder big diesel boat engine. Alright. Oh, yeah, it even says they're marine diesel. I should have just looked a little bit further back. Wait, Cadillac V16 engine? Oh, that's probably also a plane engine. Anyway. What was the last one? Oh, it was also a 16. Interesting that they went specifically for the Diablo one. This is kind of like the sort of engine, though, that would be used in a Diablo. You love BeamNG? I think you've already said something like that. Good for you. Yes, thank you, Firebird there. You seem to have hit the nail on the head. Oh god, I'm dumb. I'm a minute behind. What? Oh, okay. You weren't playing it live. You're like a little bit behind. Let's have a look. We do have front aero. Interesting. Oops, that was the wrong button to press. And we do have thick front tires. So how are we getting so much understeer? Could be to do with the fact that the rear wing is freaking ginormous compared to the smaller wing here. Which I feel that maybe, yeah, there's still an unbalance. So let's go ahead. If I had a flat ground, I'll be able to tell what the weight balance is. But as it stands, it looks like the weight distribution is very much biased towards the rear. Which shouldn't make understeer. Very weird. Why does it feel understeery through here? Ah! And, yep, just a slight tap on the side damages the suspension, which is to be expected from these sorts of things when you export on an automation car. Okay, let's go ahead. That was the wrong button. Let's try it on a normal track, because I feel that this is a little bit unfair. I'm gonna take a drink. Everyone else, make sure to hydrate. Okay, I've seen enough of the Soul yet. Please bring up the thing. It's got a 9100 rev line. That's pretty good. It is a V12 sports car, though, so I'd expect that. Let's have a look. It's this one by Careless Class. This is a 2009 car, and it's $306,000. $306,000, yeah. Mid-engine rear-wheel drive Italian hypercar built to celebrate the brand's dominance in F1 and 24 Hours of Le Mans. Have I got the... I think I got the names, the cars mixed up. Yep, no, that is the right car. Okay, yeah, I mixed up. That other car isn't the one that's based on the race one. It's based on an F1 car. Anyway, whatever. 2009, you'd expect better handling. You may even find all-wheel drive on these cars. What do we got here? So this is still rear-wheel drive in an era where you would be... I would accept an all-wheel drive system, but I would also call you lazy. Oh, we are getting some weird lag under braking. So, yeah, some jiggle and some lag, all that sort of stuff. Yeah, that's unfortunate, honestly. Maybe it actually has to do with traction control. Let's turn that off. Imagine having a 9100 RPM rev line? Really? You think that's bad? Okay, well, that was my fault. Ah! Okay. This car becomes tricky to control. And, wheel spin. Yeah, no, this car is really bad. Without... I mean, this just needs more front aero. Ah! Okay, there we go. Was able to control it. So, we have massive amounts of understeer and then copious amounts of power oversteer. Yeah, I'm not sold on this car. Maybe it would have been better to have all-wheel drive on this car. Maybe that's how you meant to tune it. Because as it stands, this is not a great vehicle. It seems problematic. Okay. The design is fantastic. I do love it. A bit unrealistic for a 2009 car to not have front aero at all. Like, I know that they were going for a design sort of aesthetic there, but even still, it should have something. Even if you have to show that it's got a scoop there to scoop the air up and come through the hood or something like that. Realism, mild. Most of it's pretty darn good. Love the interior. I love the attention to detail to the engine. Not many people dress up an engine. They've got like the full gold foil, all that sort of stuff. You'll note though that the gold foil is usually only in certain areas where you don't, where you have a buildup of heat in the wrong sort of ways. So you would have probably yes here, and probably yes around the exhaust. Not so much on the sides, and maybe not on the roll cage, but maybe it was a style thing. So sure. It's just not fun to drive. 7.5 out of 10. I do love the design of it. Really well done. They put a lot of effort in here. Oops. But it's just shit to drive. It's one of the worst cars I've driven in a while. But yeah, let's go ahead and pick the next car. Thank you for that car, even if it was a bit flawed. So now we have the Maresi TR. Okay, this is a 1972 car, and they were giving this one away for free, or maybe it was a rally version. Longest lasting production run of the Maserati company history, ranging from humble beginnings as an economy car in 1972 all the way up to 1991. So that is a long run for a car, not really that long, like not unrealistically long for a European car though. So, pretty cool. No, I'm joking because my car has the same name. Oh, okay then. Who needs to drive when you've got a raging queen car? What? I'm confused as to what it is you just tried to convey to me just then. Anyway, let's give this V16 monster a good old run through its paces. We're going to take this down now through the slingshot and see how this thing handles on bitumen at high speed. I'm going to guess not particularly well, and I'm assuming a lot of people are... it's already skittish and we're going in a straight line. Ah! I also never noticed the hood bulge, the roof bulge. Oh yeah, interesting choice. Yeah, no, that was not great. It was already hard to control in a straight line. I don't see any aeroplanes on here, or planes for aero. Aerofoils, that's the word I should use. On bitumen, car sucks. Sucks balls. Let's go take it over to the dirt. Oh, garage queen car. I'm so dyslexic. God damn it. I'm sorry there, Vermouth. Me do big derpo. Wow. There is a lot of low end lag here. So when does the turbo kick in? Okay. The turbo does kick in at a low RPM. Thanks, car. Much appreciated. Let's go ahead and try that again, shall we? The problem we have is... forwards, please. Many of problems. Too much oversteer on dirt. Okay, you know what? I need a bit of a hand here. This is not a great car. Okay, you know what? This car is not getting a good score immediately. Oh dear, this is not easy to drive. And now it's understeering. What? Make up your mind. You want to understeer or oversteer? Jesus. Ah! God, way too much peaky power. Okay, so the problem is the power underneath the turbo is way too low. I'm gonna switch this into manual control. Ah! Ah! God, this car is atrocious to drive. Ah! I give up. No, this car is nigh undrivable. Oh, you know what? No, okay, so we're gonna drive it around like a grandma. See if we can't get any sort of driving done that way. Wow, even driving it as a grandma, this thing is taking a lot of finesse. Nah! Car is undrivable. Damn. RuPaul's Top Fuel Drag Race? Nice. I was also not tuned for dirt. I thought this would do well since I tuned it for keyboard driving. Okay, let's take it to the beginning of the straight. Now, I don't usually... You know, that's nowhere near the beginning of the straight. That's a very fast camera. Why does it always face the wrong way? Why can't they always just spawn the car in the way my camera is facing? Let's drive with keyboard. Let's see if we can't control it that way. Oh. It wants to be manually controlled, but my hands have to be the wrong way around. I'm left-hand dominant, so I have to use my left hand there, so I can't use my left hand for changing gears. Okay, a little bit better. No, okay, that's atrocious. That is not a good driving car, unfortunately. Go to Discord, I make new mod. Mr. Person with Cyrillic name. You don't know what this stream is, apparently. Read the description. That might clear it up a little bit for you. Once a week, I collect the top 10 cars, approximately, of the Reddit thread that is linked in the description, that's where I pick from. Otherwise, it's just going to be chaos, and I'm going to be testing cars all day long for the next 20 weeks. Until I just die and never want to do it ever again. Common theme seems to be that the cars don't drive too good. I mean, the 150S TS wasn't so bad. It just wasn't brilliant. It was just an okay car. Maybe it's because I tap steer, possibly? Maybe. But even still, that is not how you want to drive a car. Okay, I'm about to time you out there. W for keep doing that. Okay, a little bit better. Also, Phil, crash. Yeah, it was a little bit easier with the keyboard, but still, it was pretty bad. It's not a live service. Hello? Joao Costa. Welcome. I'm never going to remember that first name. Just going to go Costa on that name. Same as last time. Well, hello there. Came a bit later. Yeah, you're a little bit late, but that's fine. We're going to drive around the first corner, which is Bavarian Bend, at least with a traction control on. And then we might see if we need to turn it off. Oh, a little bit of oversteer. But not bad. What engine do we have in this again? It was a V, so... Oh, God, okay. Ah! I wasn't paying attention. What engine do we have in here? Music's run out. I'm gonna have to... No, music's still going. Big V6, so heavy in the rear, short wheelbase. In case you don't know, that's going to result in a lot of spinny spin. So, if you watched my video on, like, sliders real, all that sort of thing, I did a little bit of a demonstration there. The closer the weight is to the center, so having a short wheelbase is a good way to accomplish that, will mean that the car will want to rotate a lot more. So you're going to have a lot of problems with oversteer, but at least your turn-in will be sharp. If you also then have the engine in the back of the car, that's also going to be problematic. If you don't have it longitudinal, you're going to have the weight even further rear bias. And then if you have a big engine in the rear, you've got three major factors going towards making your car want to oversteer. So, I love this body, but unless you got a really gutless engine, this thing is going to oversteer quite badly. It came with bad news. I needed to uninstall automation. Oh, that's unfortunate. Is he still telling me to go to Discord? Oh dear. Okay, yep, no. No clutch, so this is a dual clutch, I think? Yeah. This is dual clutch transmission. So it's not a cheap car. Let's try! Ah! No, okay. Maybe it takes a little bit of skill to get used to this car, but as a road car, that's a big no from me. Yeah, your front tires are actually quite wide. It's as if you've tried to tune it to be a front-wheel drive... Oh, sorry, a front-engine car, and not a rear-engine car. Because it becomes problematic under braking. What sort of brakes do we have here? I see one piston and one piston, so the brakes should be fairly balanced. But how about now going into Kilrop Chicane? Brakes are not great. Maybe we just had more power than what I thought just then. But yeah, a bit unbalanced, unfortunately. Still, it does feel quite nice if you just drive it a little bit smoother. What am I doing? No. Control... Oh, that was the wrong button. Control W. Let's go in and do a bit of a brake test. Cool. Okay. Drop it down. And let's see what happens to the brakes when we try to lock them up. Yep, fronts lock up way sooner than the rear. Brakes overall are a little bit weak, though, which is... I don't know, there's something wrong with new automation exports, which means that the brakes act very weird. Sometimes they just don't want to lock up at all, which is very strange, pleasant, but can also mean the brakes are underpowered, which is weird. So yeah, you have front brakes lock up, which causes the thing to become like an ice tray on the front. So you're not going to have any traction, which means that the car is going to just act whichever way it is. And if the weight starts going a little bit sideways, then that means that your car is going around. Slow down for Adam's Apex. Not too bad. I think the thing is better without traction control and ABS, honestly. Welcome, TJW. Hello, Philman. Remember me with the twin turbocharged Volvo XC90? I don't remember the car, which I normally should, but I do recognize the name. I think I remember something about it, but I don't remember you saying that you had one of those. Okay, come on. Brakes, no good. Handling, average. This thing maybe needs to be all-wheel drive. Kind of like that, I think it was a Pro Car thingy that was based off a Subaru Impreza that Jeremy Clarkson reviewed once. Yeah, like that was all-wheel drive. I feel like this should be all-wheel drive as well. There's something wrong with the brakes. I think that has to do with Automation Exporter at the moment. They're not particularly great. The weight balance is not great either. It feels okay in corners, but you see that I'm like in a constant state of oversteer, which is not how you want a road car to be. But at least it looks nice. That's a thing, right? Control-E, what was the name of this car again? Mito 2 Comp. Let's have a look. Mito 2 Comp T200. This is by Agnosion. Thank you for the car. It's a 2022 car and $50,000. That's a lot of money for not a lot of car. That is still a very small car. But I suppose maybe like a track car? What do we got here? So, the ultimate version of the best-selling Mito 2 Comp with their new optimized 2-liter V6 getting you from 0 to 100 in 3.6 seconds. Well, it does accelerate quite fast, as we've been able to show. It's pretty good and nimble, but the handling is god-awful. Something like this really needs some kind of aero. Like the MR2 got a few updates, and sometimes they came with wings. So let's have a look. MR2. Not the new MR2. Why did they just rebadge a Lamborghini, basically? What the hell? MR2 2002. Sure, let's have a look at that. Yeah, no, that one didn't come with a wing, but that one was like tuned really well. 1991. Yeah, as you can see, this one came with a little bit of a wing there. That really helped it out with rear traction. And the front had a bit of an undertray on there to help with front downforce. Then there's 1980. Let's go 1980. Yeah. As you can see, this one here has a wing as well. That is not a diffuser. That is a wing, even though it might act like a diffuser. That's actually got airspace underneath, which means it is actually an aerofoil. So, unfortunately, this is flawed. Some of these pinged me. Who pinged me? I don't see the ping anymore. Maybe one of the moderators got to it. Who knows? In next stream, test my is share to Discord. No. Okay, let's go ahead. What? Why is this having a problem? Hold on, let me bring this over here. What is it saying? It just says put user in time. How does that help me? That doesn't help me. That's weird. Okay, everything's up. Cool. All right. Potato wedges? What are we talking about now? Cool. Let's have a look. What was the price of the car? It was $50,000 or something? That is way too much. I've accidentally dragged everything over. I was only meant to drag the one tab over. There we go. Cool. Yeah. So, realism score quite low on this car. I was wondering where things were. Do you hear that high pitch wailing? Or is that just me? I don't hear anything. I would hope the user... in this time, or else they'd exist in some time... yeah, it was a weird thing for YouTube to shorten it too. Off to dinner, catch up later. Okay, catch you later, Firebird. So, this car. Realism score, quite low. You would be hard-pressed to find somebody to pay $50,000 for a car that's this small. Also, one that handles this dangerously probably wouldn't make it to market. And best-selling? Maybe best-selling out of a small production handmade sort of run, where you're selling maybe like 100 of them? This could be the best-selling version of it. But as it stands, this car is dangerous and not particularly fun to drive. It's lively, but not particularly fun. If it had like a really great electronic stability control, which was able to keep it under control, that didn't like hamper the car horribly, then maybe. Let's go ahead, try that out one last time. That's the wrong one. That's the one. Okay, so we're going to turn this back on. We're going to switch it to sport. There we go. God, I wish this thing was a manual. So I can clutch jump. Maybe sequential, but just as long as I can clutch jump. And let's turn it in. Understeer, understeer. Oh, okay. That's too much understeer for a car that you're paying $50,000 for. And what's meant to be a light sports car. And there's the ESC just kicking my butt. Sounds like something breaking just like a train or a kettle? Yes, because trains and kettles make similar sounds when they're breaking. I'll send you the clips of the car on the dyno. Interesting. All right. I do like the design of it, though. The design is pretty good, even if the interior is a little bit basic. At least they've got a lot of extra details there that a lot of people don't put in. I do like it. Unfortunately, 6 out of 10. It's just not fun to drive. It is very, very flawed. Let's move on to the next one. Now we have the NAS Orion GT. We should probably start with the NAS Orion first. Just the normal standard version of the car. Is that ESC? No. Okay, that's just ABS. What engine do we have? I think we have a V6 twin turbo. Yeah, alright. I achieved perfection. My car has the number 333 in its name. It has 333 horsepower, 333 newton meters, and has a top speed of 333 kilometers an hour. I'd be more impressed if everything was 666, because there's actual significance to that number. Good luck. What did the... Was that the car that was just on? About a 6. Yeah, this is a very basic exterior. It looks somewhere between like the Volvo Polestar, a Tesla, basically because of the side with the door handles. And I don't know. That's kind of it. The rest of it looks fairly unique. Little bit of skyline with the headlights, but that's mostly the shape of them. Dodge Half Demon? What? I'm confused. However, I think it needs different plate. Hate? Oh, you're talking about the number plates look weird. Yeah, the number plates shouldn't be like that. Okay, high-speed cornering, a little bit of oversteer, but that's fine because this is a family car. And you're not meant to be going 200 kilometers an hour in this car. Though you'll probably tend to oversteer for safety because it is still a family car. There's the understeer. All we had to do is have an off-camber right-hand 90-degree corner called Bavarian Bend, and then you've solved all your issues. Ah, it's a manual as well. Hold on, what's the gear change like? Yep, full manual. So, weird that would make a big, comfortable looking... Okay. Brakes aren't great. We were not going particularly fast, and it still wanted more braking distance than what I gave it. Nah, it doesn't like popsicle either. There's the understeer again. Okay, so we got like lots of mid-speed understeer with a little hint of oversteer if you really slosh the car around. But that's pretty decent for the car. Just not lively, which is unfortunate. but still, it feels quite nice. For a family car, I probably wouldn't be disappointed to own this. Understeer again, heading into Cossacks. Let's see how Lamb's Hope deals with this car. Ah, lots of lockups on the wheels. Yeah. BeamNG's new physics just really makes trail braking impossible. Let's go Control W and... No, that's not what we want to do. What do we want to do? I can't remember. Let's go Control E and bring out the sportier version. So this is the NAS Orion GT. Here we go. This is by Environmental Hat 926. God damn it. That guy just doesn't learn, does he? Oversteer for safety? I don't think so. Understeer, you can predict what's going to happen. It's very clear what's going to happen. Oversteer is very tricky for a lot of novice drivers. And family cars, I'm afraid to say, are usually not the most skilled drivers. I would say that usually, like that $50,000 sports car, that would probably be driven by more skilled drivers. But even still, there's going to be the occasional novice in it, but less likely. Also, even an experienced driver would struggle driving that car. Am I on a controller? Yes. And it's pretty hard to get 660 in 1958. Why isn't it in the year 1933? Or if it's going to be 666 horsepower, why not do it in 1966? Use a controller makes trail braking impossible. Really? I suppose I'll have to try that out, but it never used to be impossible. Or it didn't used to be a while ago. That reminds me of Richard Hammond accident quote? Which one? Do I remember you, Donkey Killer? Yeah, from like minutes ago? Of course I remember you. We need to get this man a wheel. I have a wheel. And I've spoken about it many a times in my streams. The reason why I don't use my wheel in the streams is because most cars I prefer to drive with a controller. Unless BeamNG now just has no use for controller drivers. To do that, though, I have to drop my desk down. I have to move everything out of the way. I have to bring the... Hold on, is my stuff in the shot? Yes, it is. I should clean up my background. Just had my messy room on display. Probably nobody noticed it, though. Also, the other thing is, sorry, I breathed in a bit of saliva just then. You have to also then drop the camera down or just have no camera. And dropping my camera down because it's not on my computer is really problematic. It's on a tripod. So doing a steering wheel setup is really tricky. And I like to stand for streams because it helps me stay awake. No, not stay awake. Helps me keep my energy up. And also, I like to move around and express myself when I'm doing these sorts of things. So, I like to stand. And it's really hard to do that with a wheel. It is just much harder? What is? Hold on, what are we talking about? Oh, the wheel? Oversteer is better because you don't see the thing that kills you. What is it, Jeremy Clarkson's quote? Like, entering the pearly gates backwards in a ball of fire is the way to go. I ought to pop you... pop it in the Discord? Pop what in the Discord? The oversteer argument? Okay, so... For a sports car, oversteer is acceptable. And maybe in some cases, if done right, kind of accepted. But, for a car which mostly are going to be novice drivers, it's going to be problematic at best. In fact, dangerous. And if you have a car which is killing a lot of people, that's a family car, you're going to lose a lot of sales. So, that's why a lot of family, like, sedans tend to understeer more than oversteer. Unless you got a car which, sorry, understeers but power oversteers. You kind of get what's happening there? That's why they do it. Like, they probably would like to make a car that has a little bit of oversteer, but they can't rely on drivers to not be rubbish. Trail braking is harder on a controller for sure. Okay. Yeah, it didn't used to be that hard, but then they started doing updates to handling. Hey Phil, currently working on my car, FR layout, rear wheel drive, 2.5 liter turbo, longitudinal. Do you reckon double wishbone suspension all the way around? If you're going for a sports car, that is an acceptable type of suspension to have. Especially if it's an older one. Older cars on lattice chassis, if you're going with independent rear suspension, that is still acceptable. Front suspension being double wishbone is quite common. Cheaper, lighter cars are generally, what would you call it? Thingamybobby. McPherson struts on the front. And then in the rear, it really depends what it is you're trying to do. If it's a hatchback, then you're probably going to go with something like a torsion beam rear suspension. If you're going for a sports car, probably a multi-link. But it really depends on what sort of car you're making and what you're trying to accomplish. Okay, see you later. W. The reason why my name is that is when I ran into a deer a couple of years ago, I thought it was a donkey. Oh, interesting. Weird name. Better than mine. My choice of name came in the 90s, like early mid-90s from Hotmail. And I've stuck with it ever since because I don't want people to get confused. All fatalities, schmatalities. Breaking a few eggs to make your cut price MPV, soccer mums will still pay. What? Anyway, my rear suspension is so D. What? What's happening right now in the chat? It's a 2016 coupe. It has a sedan variant too. Are we talking about this one, Aero Racer? Is this your car? Anyway, let's have a bit of a closer look. I have noticed that this thing has a really lovely hood vent in there. That's pretty cool, and it is just shy of the engine, so we're pretty good. Still a V6 though, not a V8, so it's not like big muscle car sort of thing. The interior, I do love the skyline roof sort of thing, skylight roof sort of thing. I like it. Rear parcel shelf, well done, though there is a bit of a gap. Oh, I see it there. But you've done pretty well. Covered in the front dash gap, nice. Have you? Ah, you really have. That's a pretty good job. It looks almost seamless. Yeah, pretty cool design. I do like the update. The rear end still a little bit basic, and I'm not a big fan of the rear number plate. Bro, you have seen neither a deer nor a donkey. Sorry, my cat sent those messages early. What? Oh, okay, your messages. I'm remaking my 1957 Aurora Alpha you tested in your last stream, so no 1990. Okay then, fair enough. Let's go ahead, give this car a bit of a try. Yep, we have a manual again. We can clutch if we need to. Feels a lot more lively and the engine sounds really quite nice. I do attest that automation V6s do sound the best. A little bit of not great brakes and not great turn in. But sure, okay. Understeer on the Everson's S's. Unfortunately, a little too much understeer. Heading into here, I cannot remember what this is called. I always forget what it's called. Oh, massive amounts of understeer there, unfortunately. But then again, this isn't a race car, so I wouldn't expect much different. Then through Ban Hammerhead, not so bad. Heading down to the Cotswolds. See how it does. Oh, even with high camber, this thing has massive amounts of understeer. Oh, it really doesn't like that. Nope, this is not my car. I'm talking about the one I'm working on currently. Oh, so you're talking about a car I'm not looking at on the screen. Well, that's why it's confusing me, because I'm having 15 conversations in the chat, and you're there talking away about something that I'm not looking at. See how that could be a smidgen bit misleading to me? It means you also not what sounds... That means you also know what sounds the worst. The boxes don't sound so bad here because they're not Subaru boxes, but they do sound a little bit drony. The V12 used to sound pretty flat and boring. That's why when I did the hypercar build against twin turbos, the LMH build, I did a V6 instead of a V12 because I just thought the V6 sounded better. Also better handling. Understeer, understeer, understeer. Oh god. This is the sporty version. What is happening? Let's go ahead. Control T. Yeah, that is not aero on the front. Just to let you know, Lipso didn't use that downforce. I am going to test that again now with the new update. Is that? Oh, that is actually front aero. We do actually have aero on the front. And it is big aero on the front. But I think this is the Polestar body. And Polestar bodies tend to understeer a lot. So you really do have to compensate for that. Because the engines are quite a ways forward. Let's have a quick look at in a sec. So if we go to where the wheel is, yeah. So this is the center line of the wheel. It's really dead center over there. So this is not really a good mod body, in my opinion. It should have been designed differently. Though that would be just the bound boxes or whatever. Yeah, yeah, no. This car kinda sucks. Sounds nice. Handles okay at low speeds, but anything above low speed, like this thing is struggling to go 100 around the mid-corner of this thing. It is a big GT car though, so I'm not too upset, but I would like it to handle better. Like a lot better. Oh my god, just get onto the road. Stop understeering. Jesus. That was insane. Alright. Let's bring it up here. Brake, turn in. Feather that brake a little bit. Come on, baby. There we go. Okay, good. On the exit. Decent. Alright. Let's try slingshot again and actually pay attention to what speed we're doing. So I'd expect this car to be able to do it quite nicely at 230. But we're almost at a 260, so let's slow down. 230. Okay, the car will do it at 230. 230 is what I would expect a car with no downforce to be able to take that at, if tuned really properly well. Or maybe one wing, on one end. But you got aero all round, this car should handle a lot better. As it stands, the car just doesn't feel fun to drive. The brakes are cooked? Oh dear, what have they done with the brakes? Let's have a quick look. i4 automation sounds like a tractor at idle, which is pretty accurate if you've ever heard a 1.8 turbo. Okay. Let's have a look. 6 piston brakes, and they're not maximum size. Yeah, okay. That's why we've got brake fade. After, like, a few corners, not even a full lap, and already brake fade on a sports GT car. That is unacceptable. So, realism score, especially with the vents being in different places, that's not how that would be. Are you just gonna keep blinking? God damn it, game. I hate that. What's the price of it? Is it cheap? Yeah, okay, yeah, the car is free. They gave it away for free. There was no price listed, so that means that the car is given away for free. So that's really bad on realism. But honestly, you're probably going to have to be giving this car away for free, because who's going to go for a big, lumpy engine that sounds fairly nice, but handles very unsatisfactorily and has bad brakes? But still, free is unrealistic. The design is quite nice. I do like it. It's fairly simple. The rear is not particularly great, but the front looks really nice. The side looks okay. Interior's done a pretty decent job. I do like that they've tried some experimental things like the iPad on the center console sort of thing. I do like it. Gated shifter there. But 5.5 out of 10, because the handling is not fun at all. Philman's favorite thing. 3 or 6 piston brakes, lol. God, I hate it. With the new update, I would love to see how things change with brake force. But as it stands, this is an old version car, and they've not done a particularly great job. Let's go ahead and go to the next car. I do still want to just say, though, I do like the style of the car from the front and the side. The back end, though, lets down. But I do like the style. Just the rest of it was really let down. A challenge occurs to me for you. Build a modern car, but with the technology of the 40s. So you mean like the Crossfly Tires car that we did? Looks almost like a Genius Coupe. Or Genesis Coupe. Does a little bit with the shape of the body. Not this one, the previous one. One of my least favorite cars, haha, but it's a good design. You know, I kind of agree. I don't like the look of the... It's a Hyundai, right? Hyundai Genesis? Yeah. So... Oh god. I don't think we got this model. That looks hideous. That is really unattractive. Actually, you know what? It's only mildly unattractive. It's not that bad. The back end, though, that is not a good design. Here now, this line that looked okay from the front now looks considerably worse. That looks so bad. This one, though, I think looks a lot nicer. I think it's mostly just the bumper. Is there like a model year difference? But the older one... Let's just go 2000. That's the one. I actually like the look of this car quite a lot, and I still like it quite a lot. The thing I don't like about it is that it doesn't handle particularly great. It's just mediocre. I've been in one before. It feels very chuckable, but not great. Big, heavy V6 in some of them. Just not my favorite. Ooh, I'm up on the chopping block. Oh, is it? Do people really fight as a chopping block thing? Like, I like things about cars. It's just, I like to encourage people to push themselves. So, I mean, I know it's criticism, but it still is constructive criticism. I do like these cars. I don't have any problem with trail braking and beam. It's just not as good as what it could be. That's my say on it. But I think that's mostly automation exports. I'm not sure about base cars. At least on controller, it has been a long time since I've played beam with wheel. We get the older one as a Tribune front-wheel drive V6. Yeah, I didn't think we called it the Genesis. I just knew that we got that car, and I think I saw the Brits call it the Genesis in Top Gear, so I think that's why I knew it. It's a metaphor? I'm okay. Okay, then. I mean, as long as, like, you guys aren't feeling hard done by. So we have independent rear suspension. That's right. 2 piston brakes. We may get a little bit of cookage out of these brakes, but it is a very old car. So, you know what? I would actually almost be surprised if it didn't cook its brakes when trying to go racing. Independent rear, front suspension, 2 piston brakes. Hold on. I wonder, have they fixed this issue? Now, notice that the brake is facing towards the rear of the car on the front. Got that? Okay, let's have a look on the other side. Nope, they haven't fixed it. Oh, that's great. No, we call it the Coupe in the UK? Okay, then I don't know why I know that the Genesis is the Tribune or Tribute or whatever it's called. I never really learned its name. I never really considered much buying it. They never became cheap either. They always stayed, like, not that bad. Things are circular objects. Some might say they're cylindrical. They go round and round, endlessly forever, similarly to how this sentence does, which has no intention of ending any time soon. In the same way, I can just go like this. The same way, this has no intention of, I can barely see it, intention of stopping. It'll never stop. Don't stop. What? It'll never stop. Don't stopping. Wait, hold. That says it'll never stop. Don't stopping. I know this is meant to be a joke, but that's a big fail. Automations, that's points deducted off from you. And also the person that made this car, because obviously they didn't fix that glaring issue there. Oh, big fail on your behalf. That's how good this tire is. It has, it has legs. It can go all day. Much like this sentence. It's so hard to read. It is so hard to read. Hold on, I've lost my, okay. And these tires which go round and round as long as you, let's try to read it this way. Oh, that's easy to read. As you can stand, which is probably just about this long. So hold on, which is probably just this long. So have a nice day and enjoy the ride. What? It doesn't loop back together. I was expecting the sentence to never actually end. That is BS. Also, I believe that was a run-on sentence. The Tiburon, okay. Yeah, I think I'm gonna continue working on my car to see how you feel about it. I know me and you were talking back and forth in the comments for a while about it while I was working on it. Okay. Phil's losing his mind. It's not... I'm not quite sure what is going on. Neither do I. That was a very weird kind of fever dreamish sort of thing to have happen. Let's go ahead. Start some music up. Go. This song is called Happy Birthday Funk. Yep, that is the Happy Birthday theme song. That is just a little too weird for me to have. Okay. Yeah, I'm guessing that this thing is going to cook its brakes, especially with the fact that it's got a big, heavy, and that looks like cast iron, not aluminium, engine. Also, the heads look cast iron. Am I correct in that assumption? I think I am. That don't look like aluminium, unless it's painted, maybe. But yeah, that's going to be heavy. This thing is going to cook its brakes super quick. I feel like it would have been safer for me to send the inline something or other TR or the regular front-wheel drive Troubadour. Okay. Lots and lots of one-wheel peel with this car. Jesus. Long gearing as well. Wow, that is very long gearing. Let's bring it to a stop again in the middle of Popsicle. It's a cast block, thought so. And not get any wheel spin and see how it goes. You know, pretty decent. 83 kilometers an hour in first gear. That is a fairly long first gear. Is this got cross plies? No, that looks like large profile radials. When are you going to make a video about engine swaps for automation cars? I actually was going to do that, but it's a really hard video to make. So it will come eventually, and then they were going to do the new update, and now the new update has come out, and things just kept on getting in the way, and now I don't think I'm going to do it for a while, but it will happen. Detroit Authentic? Which car? This? I thought this was based on a British thing. Okay, well, I didn't brake early enough. I thought since it was going slower, it wouldn't be so bad. Have you ever encountered an error importing DAE files into Blender? Yes. Depends what it is. Cars, no. I get an error saying that there is an unknown reference to text code. If you know how to fix it, let me know. Try a different version of Blender. That can sometimes fix it. There is a backlog of all of the other versions of Blender still on their website. You can just navigate your way to it and get something much older. See if that helps your issue sometimes. Sometimes it's plugins that are just getting in the way. Sometimes it's been modified in a way which the game just doesn't know how to deal with. And sometimes it's just because it was made in an older version that it complicates with. So that can work. Maybe go back like 2.5, maybe? That should clear a lot of issues. Should my car have an even longer name, it already doesn't fit the trim name line, and it's all acronyms. I would rather you didn't do that. Let me show you quickly. I try to fit people's name in this slot here. I suppose I could lengthen it out more now that I'm using it differently. Wait, no, hold on. I just don't have it zoomed in. That's my bad. So yeah, I try to fit you in there. If it doesn't really fit in there, I'm going to shorten your name for you. And you may not like it. I'm on 2.81, assume it's not the newest thing. Oh, well, if you're not the newest, then try the newest and see if that helps. The newest is, what, 3.01 or something like that? Oh, wait, no. Yeah, I think it's in the 3s now. And I have the latest version. That's currently what I'm running. It's Argentinian with an AMC block. Oh, that's right, it was AMG. Sorry, Javelin I thought was a British car company. My bad. Sorry, I was thinking of a different company. Based off the Renault Torino, which is French. It's a fun little pot. Oh, okay. So, we have to be very careful. The brakes are not great on this 1970s car. You know what? It feels nice and slushy. The sort of thing you would expect. A little bit of power oversteer. I feel the gear ratio could be a little bit shorter, though, in this car. Maybe this is the ratio that came in the real car? I don't know. One wheel peel, that's got to be a little bit fun for a sports car. Especially a V8. Well, I lost control. That was a me do-dum. That was not a manufacturer do-dum. I like. This is a fun car. And it's fairly realistic. What is the price of this car? I think I would have only taken down one price for it. Control E. What is the price? This is the Renard. $32,000. I'm assuming that was for the more expensive one, though. So that's actually really cheap. 2 premium Argentine muscle cars powered by the AMC. Apparently, you can reach 172 miles per hour, which realistically probably wouldn't have happened. It really would not have happened, especially on a convertible for this one. It's fun, lively. It's the sort of thing you would expect from this sort of period. Though I would have still expected a solid rear axle, especially if it's Argentinian, using an American engine. Sticking an independent rear axle, less common in what's meant to be more of an American sort of thing, even if it's a French car. French cars don't really do rear-wheel drive independent suspension cars. They just do front-wheel drive. Find a Daewoo Nexia hatchback. It's probably closer to 160 miles per hour. Even then, like, this car's probably, realistically, not going to go over 150, maybe? It'll probably do like 130, actually. Now that I think about it. Okay. Tons and tons of understeer. So, if you're willing to put up with a lumpen old car, this is quite lively. By modern standards, though, not particularly great. What's this thing on the dash? What is that? Are you about to get more points off? Oh, it's a flag! Except for the fact that you've got it clipping incorrectly. Oh, that's points off. Along with, yeah, along with this points off. You tried to fill in the gap there, but you didn't do it right, and then you forgot to remove it. I do like it, though. Realism. It is very cheap for what it is. I would have expected it to cost more. Also, I would have probably expected such a long body to be a 4-seater or a 5-seater, not this. Let's have a look at the other car. Let's bring that out quickly. That was the wrong car. Whoops! Ah, there it is. Okay, cool. Hell, I'll take it, but it's certainly... I've certainly tested it. It reaches it in the long run. Yes, okay, so... automation to BeamNG, not the most realistic with aerodynamics. Especially BeamNG not having realistic aerodynamics mostly at all. It's just got adaptable physics with the way in which it works. With the rigs of rods style mesh that they use for collisions and stuff. That's... Oh, that was the wrong button. But, yeah, its aerodynamics realism, not that great. So, especially with the limiter removed from automation and automation not being really great with realism either, the cars go really quite fast. A Cadillac Coupe de Ville, baby, at 10,000 feet long, only room for 2. Really? Cadillac Coupe de Ville. Apparently wants that. That's only got room for 2? That seems unrealistic. No, what? Yeah, you've got back seats in this thing. And the big and plush as well. Sure, you're not going to have copious amounts of legroom, but there's still something there. Getting in and out is going to be a little bit tricky. You're going to have the latch move forwardy thing. And this is also seating for 6. What are you talking about? Room for 2. It's got a column shift and a bench seat in the front. Ford Torino on rear. Chevron 2, what? Okay. I have been proven wrong. Alas, we are fatter. Twice the Torino? What are we talking about, the Ford Torino? Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Ah. Problematic. Is this one got the same gearing? Hold on. Is this... Wait. This is automatic. Is the other one automatic? No, this is manual. Okay, so this one is an automatic. How many speed does it have? Oh, so it's a 3-speed. Okay. Cool. I thought they were both manuals. I was wondering why I was going like nearly 100 kilometers an hour in first gear. I was like, what? What's happening? I'm so confused. Oh, for the headlight layout with all the chrome and stacking lights? What? I don't know what it is you're trying to get at there. I don't understand that sentence whatsoever. Oh, big traction loss there. Love it. This thing feels a little bit more lively with this automatic transmission somehow. But then again, that's BeamNG for you. Lots of weird things happen. Not the greatest tire compound. That looks like a hard long life. Yep, that's hard long life. And this is built previous to the alpha version. This is the previous version of the game. So, not bad. I like it. Feels like the sort of era it would be. Lots and lots of jiggly body roll. And like longitudinal body roll as well. I'm running out of steam right now. Gonna catch the rest of the stream through VODs here. Okay, well, I hope you have enjoyed it. I'm just gonna tell you right now, your car's probably getting somewhere around an 8.5 out of 10. It feels pretty good. I do like it. It's just not like the problem is it's not fun to drive, which excluding realism, it's just if we're just talking purely how much fun am I having right now driving this car, it's not the most fun, but it does feel realistic. It does feel relatively lively. I am enjoying it, but for now, yeah, we're just gonna leave it at that. I do like the car, but yeah, older cars just aren't as good as newer cars in certain characteristics, that is, especially handling. You feel more lively in an older car that like wallows around a lot, but I prefer like a stickier front end, turn in sharp, full handling, aerodynamics, all that sort of stuff. Maybe I'm just spoiled. But yeah, so that is this car, Control E. Let's bring out the final car. Ah, the Zetland Marina. Let's go bring that, you know, we'll just leave this car out. It's fine, whatever. The rear is based off a different car, which I stole the light layout for. Oh, okay then. Sorry about that, that's fine. Yes, that's right. Solid suspension all the way around makes for a very tall car, as you can see. So, very, very tall car. With the new automation, you probably could have dropped that down quite a bit. Hearsay? Oh dear. I don't know what you're saying hearsay to, but okay. How long has the stream been going for? 3 hours and 13 minutes. Let's go ahead... not do that. Yeah, no, Control-E, let's go ahead and remove the other one. Remove others. Let's go try it out. I was thinking I might try it out on a different map, but then I decided, no, you know what? I like Automation Test Track. So it's just a decent track. So yeah, we got an interesting engine in here. It's not a particularly cheap engine, but on a very cheap and low-powered car. What was the name of this again? Let's have a look at the name. The Zetland. Here we go. This is Letton. Ah, this is also by Sigshell. They also made the Renard Chavon. Sorry, not great at this, at reading. I had a three-corner jack in my shoe. It's a 2022 car, this one. They put no year on this car, so I'm assuming it's a 2022. Because, I mean, what else would it be? Is it not a modern car? So, yeah, the assumption made there because they didn't put it in. $10,500. This is a very cheap car. Not the cheapest, they haven't cheaped out completely, but it is quite a cheap car. So, regarded as a joke, a dull, beige, slow wedge of cheese to be gawked and laughed at. And then promptly destroyed. That's meant to be then promptly destroyed. Yeah, so fun, interesting story there. Unfortunately, as a 2022 car, yeah, quite a bit of a joke. The lift this thing is going to be generating on the rear, a lot. The new car, old car joke? What? I'm confused. 3 hours? That's shorter than I expected it to be? Well, if you know when my stream usually starts, this is about the normal sort of time, Space Warrior. Whoops, must have left it in the comment below. Time to get struck by Zeus. Yeah, no. You make a mistake, I'm gonna call you on it. This is a 2022 car, so realism quite low. You probably wouldn't make this car, even with retro recreations, a car quite like this. Oh, diddums. I also checked the main and the comments. I didn't see a year at all. So yeah, unfortunately, hold on. Does Automation export with a year? Oh, it does! 1978. Oh, okay. Interesting. All right. So I will amend my thing here. I actually do know how to now find out the year. 1978. Does it look like a 1978 car? Kind of looks a little bit more early 70s, late 60s sort of thing, but I suppose it could also be 70s. Lots of air on the front for such a budget car, though. Well, I usually expect a stream like that to be around 4 hours long. Yeah, we're on the last cars because there's been a few duplicates. I remember that for Pikes Peak model. What? I'm confuzzled as to what it is you're trying to say. Huh? This is really slow. I love it. Oh my god, it's so slow. I'm also noticing that the canvas roof is not a default thing. That is something that they've put on themselves, as you can see. Yeah, that is a fixture. Oh! They've cut away the roof for it. Okay. I probably would have done it the other way around, but yeah, interesting. I love it. Control-T. How's it dealt with the collision mesh? Pretty good, actually. Alright. I like it. So, Vermouth, this is yours, is it? Okay. If you want to have your name be your YouTube name so I don't get confused, I suppose at the beginning of your post you can put by like a by and then have your name that you want to be called by. Maybe I might try that as a thing. So if you do that, I'll try to remember that for next week's stream and beyond. Hopefully I don't ever miss it. But I always do read through the descriptions of things, so I should be able to pick up on that, as long as I don't forget to do it. Yeah, I like this. It's a fun little gutless car. Not solid on the front suspension, but otherwise, pretty decent. Also, weirdly, that's not aero, that's plastic. I know it's plastic, but it is still some sort of like, attempt at, aero. 143 kilometers an hour, it's topping out. I'm assuming it was not meant to be quite that high, but Automation didn't export it correctly. I mean, we're going 100 kilometers an hour less than what I expect a normal car to understeer or oversteer. But it handled it well, still, the Slingshot. What about Bavarian Bend? We'll catch out any car with bad balance. Okay, not so bad. For cheap tires, which, honestly, could have been narrower for this car. It doesn't need to be that narrow. You can go anywhere up to like 30% wheel spin from Automation on a cheap budget car, and it'll still be fine. I want to keep going until I burn the brakes out, then we'll call the stream. Oh, wait, no. I don't think I am going to burn the brakes out. One, this thing isn't fast enough to burn the brakes out. But two, you've got lots of brake cooling on here. That's interesting. I changed my YouTube name. Easier that way? Okay. So before story blurbs, do we put something like username price? Oh yeah. If you do that, that'd make it a lot easier. Put car name, username, price, and year. And then go into the blurb. That would make it easier. Now destroy it? But I like it so much. I was going to give this thing a 10 out of 10. I suppose if it's a car to be destroyed, then it's only going to get like a 7, because you haven't done an interior. And the outside is fairly basic. You know what, 7.5. I do like the look of it. No, 7, because the engine is a bit of a fail. The front axle is a bit weird of a fail. But I do like the exterior design. Pretty cool. Not sure about the trimming around the edges here. That's a bit weird. But yeah, I do mostly like it. Alright, if we have to destroy it... You know what, actually, let's do a solid collision right now. Wow, this thing is not fast enough to get destroyed here. Okay, yeah, nothing special happened. I just wanted to know. This will be the end of the stream. Right here. Oops, the daisies. Wrong way around. Let's just go into the next aisle. I can't... Nope, okay. I went to Jeremy Clarkson and I stuffed it up. If anybody's watched Clarkson Farm with the way he was sowing seed, you'll know what I was talking about. Or plowing. Okay. It's a marina, hehe. It's destiny. The second it's there shouldn't have had an apostrophe, I believe. Woo! Saved it. At the last second, I turned to the left there so I could get onto the road. And you know what? It's actually not deformed that much. That was a pretty big jump. Most cars would be pretty destroyed by that. This thing still runs. So, and even though you thought it was just a car to destroy, it's apparently quite resistant to being destroyed. Well done. So, I love it. But that is the end of the stream. The trimming is an export. Unfortunately. Okay then, fair enough. Export error. Fair enough. Yeah. 7 out of 10. I do like it. There's a few failures. You could see, like, the flatness where, like, the ground was. It's just completely flat. I love it. Welcome to Taco YouTube or YT. You've come right at the end as I wind down and I say thank you for everyone that has been here. So, that is thank you to you who just got here at the last second. Thank you Vermouth for your 2 cars and for showing up today and hanging around the entire time. Thank you to Where Vixen. Thank you for hanging around the entire stream as well. Space Warrior, thank you to you. You guys have been doing most of the talking here. Who else we got? Crownless, thank you for coming by and returning. Once again, you have spent a lot of time here. Thank you very much. Even though you've been quite annoying and not understanding what the stream is about, thank you, W, Mr. Person with a Cyrillic name, for coming by. The Lucky Lebanese. I didn't say welcome to you, but welcome, and welcome to the stream as well. That's quite an odd name. Space Warrior, thank you for coming by. Who else we got here? Ozani, I don't think I said welcome to you, but welcome to the stream, and thank you for coming by. Alright, I think that's enough. We've gone back now. Didn't chat much, though. Javier, oh yes, thank you, Javiera, for coming by. But yeah, that's basically the end of the stream. Connor, thank you for coming by, Connor, and I'll catch you next time. This week, coming up, if you're interested, I will be doing the tractor video, which I said. I've made a mod for that. Actually, probably the most detailed mod I've ever made. For a tractor. Or, should I say, multiple tractors, because there's multiple bodies. But that is to come. Then I'm also going to do a thing on engine placement, not the sliders one, but like how that affects handling. And that's going to be in context because I am going to be going for breaking my old Automation Test Track speed record. YouTube Studio content record. Okay, I don't know if this is a good video or not, but I'm just going to plop that there in the chat. I'm going to try to beat this video. What was my lap time? 1 minute 40 something, I think? I'm not sure. But yeah, we're going to try to smash that record with everything that I know now. But I'm going to get a few final things nailed down, like engine placement with weight distribution. Because now that I've learned about the Bollard actually being fast, even though it feels quite slow, I chose a front engine car for this record because I could drive it ferociously and it still did alright. But yeah, that will be coming up next week, but this week, yeah, the tractor and weight distribution is the thing I'm going to be dealing with. I am now completely Brian. Okay, you're a dog from Family Guy. Consume flesh? What are we talking about? Oh, you're trying to go with, I'm completely brain. I misread that. You're trying to say you're turning into a zombie. Alright, people. That is the end of the stream. I shall catch you next time. There's no special ending this time. I'm sorry. I know you want the special ending, but, I want to be monetized. And the people that do this suck. The people that keep copyright striking my ending, even though my ending is fair use, they suck ass. So, until I figure out a way to remedy this situation there, which I do know how to do it, I just can't be bothered, I'm just gonna say goodbye.